Hello? Anybody home?
Today, I want you to open your mind.
I've almost come to the conclusion that the story is so damning that the mass of people can't deal with it.
We are in process of developing a whole series of techniques to get people actually to love their servitude.
We face a hostile ideology, global in scope, atheistic in character, ruthless in purpose, and insidious in method.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
To change the minds and the attitudes and the beliefs of the people to bring about one world socialist totalitarian government.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists.
It has patterned itself after every dictator who has ever planted the ripping imprint of a boot on the pages of history since the beginning of time.
If you can get people to consent to the state of affairs in which they are living, then you have a much more easily controllable society than you would if you were relying wholly on clubs and firing squads and concentration camps.
Tools of conquest do not necessarily come with bombs and explosions and fallout. There are weapons that are simply thoughts, attitudes, prejudices.
As you connect the dots between different people, organizations, religions, history, suddenly the picture starts to form.
The kingdom of God is within man, not one man, nor a group of men.
Someone born in the United States is not more special than someone born in Mexico. Someone who is white is not more special than someone who is black. They're just vehicles for the consciousness to experience.
They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much.
It was learned that the aliens had been and were then manipulating masses of people through secret societies, witchcraft, magic, the occult, and religion.
They reach into our children in music, television, books.
Prey on children's innocence. How can I disprove lies that are stamped with an official seal?
So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it feels like an altar to an alien god.
Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc is now in the possession of the Army.
Too many others know what's happening out there. And no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
Any state, any entity, any ideology that fails to recognize the worth, the dignity, the rights of man, that state is obsolete. A case to be filed under M for Mankind in the Twilight Zone.
About time some of you got acquainted with the real hard truth.
It's the heart that says, I will not acquiesce.
Freedom is the privilege to be right. Freedom from the disasters and our mistakes.
You don't connect the dots. It's just a mass of what's all this about.
You are listening to the Secret Teachings Radio. I'm your host, Ryan Gable, and I'd like to welcome you to this live Friday edition of the show, August 15th, 2025. TSTradio.info is the show website. If you would like to find our full archive, check out my books, as well as our document archive and show montages. That's TSTradio.info. And if you'd like to contact me directly, you can email rdgable at yahoo.com, the same email we've had for over 15 years, rdgable at yahoo.com. For those of you in the audio-only archive, thank you for listening to the advertisements. That keeps us on air Monday through Friday, independent. And it also allows us to do these live video shows streaming through X, Facebook, and YouTube at TST Official. The links to all of the social media accounts are also on the website at tstradio.info. For everybody who is in the chat room, welcome to the show. I appreciate you tuning in to the broadcast. It's not consistent on Fridays, so the fact that anybody comes into the show and pays attention to the promos, it's very much appreciated. Patriot Girl is here. Bad Whiskey is here. Deborah is here, as well as Diane Perry. What is this one? I'm Just One Nut. I don't know why I have trouble reading that every single week. I'm Just One Nut. Also, we have another listener, Blue Doe One. I don't know if Blue Doe One has been in the chat before or that I've seen them. PT is here as well. King Sweet is here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're in the chat, please say hello tonight's show, as I'm sure you can tell by the show promo, is called Baskin in Poison. And the show is about not just Baskin Robbins. We're going to talk about far more than just some ice cream tonight or ingredients in that ice cream. You know, there are a lot of things that, be them political or be them religious or be them even about nutrition and food, health. There's a lot of things that are everything's a dichotomy. You know, you're supposed to pick a side. Like, I'm supposed to eat Baskin Robbins because Sydney Sweeney has big tits or something. I guess that's the message in the advertisement. I actually thought the advertisement with Sydney Sweeney was fake. I thought that it was playing on the Blue Jean commercial. And then I went and watched it, and I thought, you know, it's really weird for someone like Sydney Sweeney to do a Baskin Robbins commercial, considering that she doesn't really eat that stuff herself, which means that she took money from Baskin Robbins to eat garbage on camera and flaunt her body around for money. She doesn't even eat this stuff. She doesn't even drink sugary drinks. So she doesn't, I don't think even, sometimes she said she eats ice cream, but probably for commercials, for money, she doesn't eat this stuff. So you just have some Hollywood celebrity taking money to hawk a product that she doesn't even really eat herself. So it's just so bizarre and so weird to me that I see this kind of stuff. And you're supposed to react in a certain way. This is the point that I'm getting at here. You're supposed to react in a certain way. Like, you're supposed to either like it or hate it. And if you don't like it, you're a liberal. And if you like it, you're a conservative, and America's back, baby. I don't really think that's America is back, because if you look back into American history, people genuinely didn't have the same kinds of health problems that they have today. Different sorts of problems that were maybe hygienic, that were maybe a matter of cleanliness. But today we have problems that just should not exist. And when you compare the United States to the rest of the world, you find that most of the rest of the world, pretty much anywhere you look, does not have the same levels of problems we do in America in regard to health. We take the most pharmaceutical drugs. I'm pretty sure that's a marker for us also taking the most illegal drugs. And we consume probably the most poison processed food on planet Earth. And any country that adopts it tends to adopt, along with the lifestyle and the standard American diet, they tend to also adopt the health consequences of this. But see, the thing is, other countries know why. Other people know why. Americans just must lie to themselves all the time. I don't know if you remember when Donald Trump was first speaking, when he got back in office with and about RFK Jr. and saying, we're going to figure out what's causing all this diabetes. We're going to figure out what's causing all this heart disease. It's like, we don't need a commission. We don't need to spend money on it. We know what's causing it. It's the same diet that the president consumes, and everybody thinks it's funny. It's the soda. It's the fast food. It's the Sydney Sweeney advertisements. It's disgusting. And that is the reason why we have so many problems in this country. And here to discuss this with me tonight is my good friend. I can't believe it's been almost 3 weeks now, or it has been 3 weeks now. My good friend and longtime co-host, Mike D. He's with us because Mike's one of the very few people I know who's done radio, who has, you know, a good head on himself, and he sees the stuff the way that I do. We've seen this stuff together for 15 years, and just I don't get it, Mike. I was reading. Let me put it this way. Let me introduce you, Mike D., our co-host. First of all, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Ryan. Good to be here again. Yeah, it's 3 weeks, huh? That's crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. So here's my question to you, Mike. I was reading a story, and I'm going to put it on screen, about how in the United States, the Make America Healthy movement, whatever it is pushing for better school lunches, which is something I can get behind. I'm all about better school lunches, because our lunches in the U.S. are just totally disgusting. I think down in Florida, My school, Northside Christian, had contracts with Domino's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, and I want to say Pizza Hut was also involved. That's what we used to have for
Same.
lunch.
Same.
You too.
Same. Yes.
So I read this story. It's from The Hill, and it says that schools brace for MAHA changes to lunches. And I'm going to read some of this to you, but in a nutshell, it basically says that if we're going to do this, it's going to cost too much money. It's going to require people to actually, hand make the food. This is impossible. We can't do this. There's not enough employees. There's not enough money. We don't have enough resources. And this is the wealthiest and most, historically speaking, the wealthiest and most successful country in the history of the world in economic terms. And we can't make a fucking school lunch. That is just depressing and sad. What does that say about the country? What does that say about our perceptions of health and food and community? It says a lot of bad things.
So no one knows how to chop up an apple?
No, apparently not.
Mash some sweet potato, a nice organic sweet potato. We don't know how to get back to the moon either, so I can see how this figures in.
Let me read some of this.
We lost the instruction tapes on how to get back to the moon.
Yes, we don't know how to cut apples. We don't know how to get to the moon. And that's kind of the point I'm getting at here. It's not just a matter of the lunches and nutrition and health and all that. It's just a matter of either genuinely not knowing or pretending like we don't know what the problem is. Like, you got cities all across the country, Mike, including Tucson, where I lived, where you've got mayors that say, well, we're going to put a commission together to figure out how to clean up the trash. We're not really sure how to do that. You got the president saying, we're not really sure what's causing all this diabetes and all of this heart disease. We're going to put a commission together to figure it out. We know what the problem is with trash. We know it's not trash cans. It's people that aren't respectful and don't care. And we know what the problem is with our health issues. It's the diet. We want to spend billions of dollars to try to figure these things out. It's very stupid.
Yeah, totally. I love how they put the acronyms in there. It's the MAHA, MAGA, this neuro-linguistic programming.
To make America healthy.
Yeah.
It's just too
we can't do it.
So this is what the article says, and I'm going to read this, and then we'll have more of a back and forth commentary throughout the rest of the show. But this article is just so crazy. It says this is The Hill. The Make America Healthy Again movement, as if that's the only thing or the only reason, the only movement in which people are saying, let's have healthier school lunches, as if it's a political thing when it's not.
Exactly.
But the MAHA movement is taking aim at school lunches in a move advocates say is unrealistic without devoting more federal resources to K through 12 students. While some schools can only afford to buy frozen meals that are heated up and served, which is just disgusting.
Sounds like Dunkin Donuts.
It sounds like, yeah, we'll get to that later. It sounds like, because they don't make fresh donuts, do they? It's frozen.
Yeah, no, no, I'd say the vast majority of those franchises do not make fresh donuts.
I know Olive Garden is also frozen, heated up meals. They put a lot of that stuff in the microwave, but it's fresh Italian food. Yeah. Microwaved faux Italian food.
And by the way, olives don't grow in a garden.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you said that to me a long time ago. That's right.
Remember Macaroni Grill was another place that's shut down a long time ago, but Macaroni Grill. When's the last time you grill macaroni? What?
That might be something that Chuck Schumer does, but I don't think the average American grills macaroni. While some schools can only afford to buy frozen meals, I don't understand this. We have a Pentagon that has lost close to $1 trillion, and schools can only afford to buy frozen meals. Talk about misplaced priorities. It says the MAHA Commission was required to send over recommendations to the White House to combat childhood chronic diseases. And if you read this article, they go on to talk about how if we were going to adopt these policies, we need more money. We need more resources. We need equipment. They say we need equipment to do this kind of stuff. It's like, you don't need equipment you just need a knife to chop the vegetables, to chop the fruit. This stuff is made so overly complicated. I'm wondering, what do you think, Mike? Because I'm kind of out on a limb here. I'm not really sure. Is this a matter of we don't know how to do it, or we're pretending like we don't know how to do it, or what is the issue here?
Yeah, I think these schools and these school officials, they just don't want the change. It's a lot easier to serve the garbage that they're getting right now. And then also these, like we said, those contracts of these corporations, they're getting money, of course, to have Coke machines put in every floor of the school, right? So Pizza Hut is also getting money for being there. They don't want to end the money train, and they're lazy, because this will take a little bit of effort just to set it up. But like you said, it's not, once the process and the logistics are laid out, it should be easy to serve fresh food there. You can contract with local farmers and everybody else to get food there. That shouldn't be a problem.
Shouldn't be a problem. It should be really easy. I mean, if we can get guns to Israel, if we can get guns and missiles to Ukraine, we should be able to get apples to schools. This should not be a difficult thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It says, along with changes to food costs, schools would have to pay more employees to make the food, and in some cases would need to acquire equipment to be able to handle making fresh food for hundreds of students.
What do you mean, an oven?
Yeah, what equipment?
I mean, what do they need? Or what do you need? Some basic items like some type of cooler, refrigerator, some type of heating, baking oven.
They already have ovens. They already have refrigerators. They already have freezers.
Yeah.
So what do you need equipment for? They always try to make it sound so complicated. And you know, you're totally right about this having to do with the contracts. Like when we went to school, we had contracted fast food at our schools in Florida. And I think that's what this is, because if this is the same exact argument that you and I used to hear and we used to talk about 15 years ago, where we used to have these stories about, say, Monsanto, and Monsanto Bayer would make the argument that if you don't want to eat their genetically engineered food, you're an elitist, because not everybody can have access to non-genetically modified food. It's like, well, because you've patented everything, you've taken control of the farms, you've taken control of the marketplace. What's elitist is thinking that you can modify and patent nature. That's elitist. This is the same kind of talking point. Oh, it's going to be so we'd have to water the plants more. We'd have to pay more attention to the insects on them. We'd have to get equipment. These old lunch ladies would have to actually cut the fruit and vegetables themselves. They can't do that. It's too difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, Monsanto, I mean, they spent millions and millions of dollars trying not to get stating that any type of product that uses genetically modified ingredients would be put on a label. So they fought to get that off the label. They didn't even want you to know that it was in your food. And they fought for that because they didn't want you to know, but they lost, and they have to state if a can of soup or whatever contains genetically modified ingredients, GMOs.
Some companies, like say the company that runs, I think it's the Mars Corporation?
Oh yeah, they're great. They're great people there.
Some of their products, I believe they voluntarily put the label on there about genetic engineering, but guess what? People still buy it and eat it. Doesn't matter. They like the taste of it. Huey Burrito in the chat says, if I go out to eat, it's usually local mom and pop spots. They don't have equipment. Exactly. But they're not feeding a bunch of kids, Huey. So when you're feeding kids, you have to have expensive vegetarian equipment, I guess. They're not even talking about vegetarianism, for the record. This includes meat too.
You have to have specialized equipment to feed children.
Yeah. Wow. But see, the reason I bring this up, I want to show you something, because when I was reading this article and I looked at some school lunches, this is what can you see this on the screen, Mike? I know our listeners can. Okay, this is what a standard American lunch looks like. Look at that. This is supposed to be pizza.
Oh, I didn't even know what it was.
Well, let's play a game here. What's this? Because is that Sloppy Joe?
Cat food?
It looks like something Charlie Kelly would eat for lunch. Look at that.
What's next to it?
I think a bun, and then like 5 packets of ketchup. It looks like cat food. It's so gross.
It's disgusting. What the other one looks like a
This is what I'm thinking of when I think of like a quote healthy American lunch. This is what I see: a corn dog, this hash brown. Oh, it's just potatoes, right? No, it's got 15 other preservatives, chemicals, and flavors in it because they have to add potato flavor to it, and then they deep fry it, and then they have to add additional preservatives because this potato's from like 1987. They preserved it in a freezer, and then they give that to you with this hot dog, corn dog dipping sauce. And then the thing is like, look, there's pineapple on the plate. That looks healthy. Well, it would be if they didn't cover it in high fructose corn syrup and sugar, which is what most of the fruit is in schools. They cover it in syrup, which is stupid because it's already sweet. But this is the standard American lunch. And I mean, I've seen worse, seen better too, but I've seen worse standard American lunches. We had like, again, I'm guessing this is pizza here on the screen. But anyway, the point is, the reason I wanted to show you this is because I came across Japanese school lunches. I want you to look at this, Mike. This is a relatively recent story. In Japan, these lunches are called kyushoku. And look at these lunches. They cost about 250 yen. So it's about, I mean, what is that? That's less than $3 American. And look at these school lunches. You're getting fermented foods. You're getting noodles that are made out of usually rice. They could be wheat, but the wheat here is usually controlled and domestic. It's not modified like U.S. wheat is. You're getting pickles. You're getting rice. You're getting vegetables. Here's your miso soup. You're getting fresh fruit cut, no syrups on it. They do have milk, which I don't like and disagree with, and they have tea for lunch. Look at these lunches, with the exception of this piece of bread here, compared to whatever the hell this is. On this is cat food that they feed kids. And again, the reason I'm showing you this is because these lunches, traditionally, and this is as of 2022, this Japanese school lunch website I found, they make most of this stuff by hand. And I don't think that they have giant industrial facilities in most of these schools, because guess what? Most of these Japanese schools have even less money than American schools do. So with less money and with, I would assume, probably less resources, they can make this, but with all the money in the world, we tell the world we're the best and we're the most successful and wealthy all the time. We serve our kids fucking cat food and whatever this is, pizza or whatever. This looks like it's going to crawl off the plate. This is a big problem. Comments on that, Mike?
I see in the Japanese, are those porcelain plates, right? They're not plastic. It doesn't look like it's plastic. It looks like it's nice. It's like a Cremerica. It's like a porcelain sort.
Yes.
Yes.
This one here is, this bowl of vegetables and noodles is, yeah, I think most of these
and then
are.
when I look at the American, it's like straight, everything's like a plastic.
Slop.
You know, it doesn't look appealing. It's sloppy. It's thrown together. It's GMO'd. It's disgusting, actually. It's a shame, actually, is what it is.
By some slob in the kitchen who doesn't care.
Look at that. See how it's nicely like organized too on the plate?
And portioned.
Yes.
Look
yes,
at that.
totally.
They also do this in prisons in Japan. This is also prison food. Literally prison food in Japan is better than food at schools in the United States, and they have less resources here. I mean, Japan is one of the biggest economies in the world, but their school system, they're notoriously like the U.S. school system. They don't have a lot of money, and yet they can still do this. You notice that they actually use real fruit, and they don't use this syrup bullshit that the U.S. uses. Oh, there's pineapple, covered in high fructose corn syrup. Look, that's an actual orange or a mandarin. That's an actual kiwi. It's an actual piece of watermelon up there in the corner. Look at that. So this is we don't need $1 billion commission, is my point, to figure out why kids are sick and overweight. This is why. It's very simple to figure this out. This is why. And the lazy mothers on TikTok that are like, I just don't have time, so I put chicken nuggets in the microwave and then feed that to my kid with high fructose corn syrup ketchup because I just have other things to do.
I think people are pissed because I think I just saw an art. Well, I did see an article that they raised the price of the chicken McNuggets. McDonald's did recently, and people are pissed because that was the most. That was one of the items that didn't go full blown like up crazy.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So and then they just raised the cost of chicken McNuggets, which. God, do you remember those back in the day? Those were so disgusting.
Oh, I remember them.
Do you remember that? Like the shape, like what kind of chicken shape is that? And it was so super breaded. Oh, it's just nasty.
Well, that's what that is that's the they actually use the machine. They use a machine for that at McDonald's. It's like I think we did a show in that. It's the McRib press. So the McRib is just like all this random slimy gross meat that they press into something that looks like ribs.
Yes. Oh, here we go. These food snobs are talking again. Look at these elitist food snobs. I'm not a food snob. I used to eat the crap, and so did Ryan, until we figured out, hey, I don't really want to die super early in life, and we want to eat healthy. You want to feel better every day. You don't want to wake up in pain. You don't want to, be 300 pounds. You just don't.
No, who does? Who does want to be that? I don't
People
think
with mental disorders. That's for sure, because it makes life a hell of a lot harder when you're 300 pounds.
Yep. Yes, it does. And then, of course, that contributes to all the medical costs we have, which are the highest in the world, on top of taking the most drugs in the world. And why aren't we getting better? Because we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it doesn't solve the problem. It makes the problem worse. I noticed this too. They serve milk. They serve tea, but you see they serve milk in Japan.
Yes.
So that is a new thing. That comes out. That's because Japan lost the war. They adopted milk. And I've read that not just in Japan, but most Asians, which this also applies to Europeans and Americans, etc. They say that most Asians are completely lactose intolerant. It's like, yeah, because you're not supposed to consume that product. You're not supposed to drink that, especially in the quantities that we drink it. But this is the result of losing World War II. They get the milk. The result of losing World War II, they get the kinds of things that are making us sick, which is contributing to the slow decline in overall health here in this country because of a Western diet. But if you look at this, you got vegetables, you got broth, you got tea, you got what I'm guessing here is kind of like a salad, could be probably pickled. You got 2 small fish and you got rice. I mean, this is like a balanced proportional meal. Like, you don't have to have fish for lunch, but this is a balanced proportional meal. And you notice they don't have soda. In my school, we used to have Coca-Cola for lunch. And that's because of those contracts that you mentioned. It's fucking disgusting, Mike.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Blair M says, better to be a food snob than a food knob. I'd say better to be a food snob. I would say better to be a food snob than a food slob. Because if this is a food snob, then this is food slob. This is slop. Yeah. Like, this is literally.
But Ryan, remember when we started to talk about this, we would get comments and feedbacks is like, oh, you're an elitist. What do you eat? Do you have all this money? You can eat organic.
Not cat food.
And then you had to actually do a show. I think you did a show that just basically said, this is how you can eat organically for cheap. Remember?
Yes.
Do the stews and everything else and whatnot. So,
or just not even organic, just eat food.
Yeah.
Cheap. Yes. That's right. Patriot Girl in the chat says, she's congratulating Huey. Huey said, maybe Huey said somewhere back here in the chat, maybe he lost weight or something like that. Oh yeah, he said he lost 64 pounds in the last year, not eating garbage, no exercise at all. Patriot Girl says, congratulations, more energy too. Once you awake to food, you can't go back. Deborah also says she lost 75 pounds. You don't even have to exercise. So this means that there's no weight loss drug, Mike. There's no exercise. So you're not spending money on fancy programs or fancy medications. You don't have to pay for insurance. You don't have to go buy something. You just literally stop eating garbage. And these people have shed collectively almost 300 pounds. Congratulations. That's really great news, everybody in the chat. Patriot Girl says she lost 40 pounds. That's amazing.
That's good.
Look at that.
I mean, I would throw in just walking too. You can just walk around your neighborhood, walk outside. You got to get outside. I know in certain places, yeah, it's hot in the summer, but if you get out early enough, you can beat the heat. You know, that's what I have to do in Florida.
Yes, and in places like Arizona as well. That reminds me, I just brought this up on the screen. Can you see this
Yeah.
article? Look at this.
Yes.
So you say just walking. Well, we even in the U.S. we even turned that into some kind of commodity. So there's a new trend called Japanese walking. And like I can tell you, living over here, but there's no such thing as Japanese walking. There's just walking. But this is now a U.S. trend. I wonder how the Japanese walk. They do it on 2 feet. That's it. They just move.
Yeah.
You don't. This is just the height of ignorance. Well, what are those people over there doing? They must have a fancy style of walking. No, they just walk. They must have a fancy style. No, they just don't eat cat food and high fructose corn syrup ketchup for lunch with whatever the hell this is. Is that a bun? It could be a cephalopod. I don't know what that is.
I know it might be like a giant mushroom springing out from the plastic.
Yeah, but so they got to have a thing. Japanese walking. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. Japanese walking. Put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so stupid. So stupid. Okay, so let's move on. We have a comment from last night that I saved. Blake S. I don't know. Is Blake in the chat? Look at this comment, though. This is such a great comment. This is the comment of the week. Can you why don't you read that to the listeners if you can see it?
Yes, we can occupy Japan for 80 years and yet can't compete with them on school lunches.
So accurate. Thank you, Blake, for that comment. Totally true. We can occupy Japan 80 years, can't beat them on school lunches. Look at that slop. My God. But no, it must be that they're walking fancy. There's a fancy walk. Got to commodify everything. There's probably books written on it.
I bet you they're eating healthier in Israel also. That's for sure.
Well, they eat a lot of falafel, I've heard. They eat a lot of falafel. I don't know, the last time I watched American Horror Story, 2 Israeli guys were eating each other's ass. So I that's what I learned about Israel's diets.
You know what? For the federal taxes, if we're going to pay them, I think this is a little off subject, but I'll just bring it up real quick.
Yeah,
if we're going to pay federal taxes, then you need to send me an itemized list of what my money is being spent for. You know, if it says roads, bridges, infrastructure in the United States, check. Money sent to Israel. No, you're not. You're not, or I'm not paying.
Well, in the state of Texas, that's illegal, the governor says. If you pass a resolution and condemn the paying of taxes to a foreign country, then they say that's illegal. It is illegal under Texas state law. That's fun, isn't it? Freedom, winning. Really winning. Did you read that story about Lunchables recently in the news?
No.
Because Huey in the chat just said, "Ew, Lunchables." Patriot Girl says, "Gross." Yeah, look at this story. It's like the Girl Scout cookies we did. Look at this. This is USA Today. Lunchables shouldn't be on school menus due to lead, sodium, etc. Consumer reports tell USDA.
That's great.
So they're feeding kids lunch. Have you ever seen a Lunchable, Mike? When's the last time you saw a Lunchable?
Yeah, remember, I think they were like in plastic little things and separated, like you get like a meat and crackers or some crap, something like that. It's been a while since I've seen what it looks like. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at this. Ham and cheese, cracker stacker, and Oreos.
Oh,
but there's 11 grams of protein, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Because your 5-year-old is lifting heavy weights every day, needs that 11 grams of protein.
Yeah, look at this one. Ham and cheese. This is a classic. I think I ate this one. Ham and cheese crackers with Roaring Waters Wild Cherry Waterfall Capri Sun and a cookie. This is all subsidized. This is fake meat. This is fake cheese. It's subsidized dairy. This is subsidized corn. And this is subsidized sugar industry. That's all. It's just all subsidized garbage packaged into a box. That is disgusting.
Flavored water beverage.
Yeah. Have you ever
Flavored
seen
water beverage?
Have you seen those little waters that parents buy their kids that have cartoon characters on them, like princesses from Disney or stuff like that?
I think so.
I don't know what the name of them are. Anybody in the chat know what those are called? Let's see. Water, uh, characters, flavored. I'll type in America. I'm sure it'll probably bring it up. Well, it's kind of stuff like this.
Oh, like the movie tie-ins for everything.
Yes, but some of them, the one I'm thinking of is different. It's not all Disney, but they have like plastic characters. They're almost like toys on the top of the water. Anyway, the point is, I read one of these one time. It's supposed to just be water. It turns out it's like a natural water flavored drink, and they put syrups and dyes and sugars and other chemicals in it. But it's made for kids. It's water because your kids need water, Mike.
Yeah, see, you're not supposed to eat stuff that comes from a lab that's created.
No,
How can we get that blueberry taste when it's not blueberries?
Oh, we'll use antifreeze.
Yeah. We'll try to fool you.
Lead, cadmium, and sodium. This is what consumer groups found in Lunchables. It's like, well, that's not even the worst.
Yeah, and you wonder why, the kids have all these types of diseases and mental disorders, feeding this lead poison to your brain. Where do you think it goes to? It goes all in your body.
Well,
goes to your brain.
Most of these heavy metals cross the blood-brain barrier. Yep, and for sure this is absolutely a major contributing factor to neurodegenerative diseases. It's a major contributing factor to things like dementia, Alzheimer's, etc. later in life, and autism when you're younger.
Yes,
because it's not just kids eating this; it's parents. Adults eat this. They actually have adult Lunchables now. Have you ever seen that?
Adult Lunchables? No, I have not.
Yeah, it's fancy, Mike. Let's see, adult Lunchables. Well, these are like homemade adult Lunchables. This is what they sell in store. You can buy this at like Publix. So it's a fancier cheese. It's a fancier piece of quote meat. They're charging $3.29 American for that.
Oh,
There's like 4 crackers.
Yeah, those processed meats they're not good for you, folks. They're not. Pepperoni, prosciutto, all that stuff. That's just it's a cancer causing agent. Hey, but I only eat it. I don't really eat it. Well, how many times do you order pizza or eat pepperoni or some type of meat, processed meat? If you're not really thinking about it, you're eating it.
God, that's so disgusting. And that's another thing. Look how much they're charging for this. $3 for a Lunchable. I mean, that is maybe worth 3 cents. $3.
Look at the packaging lies on it, like rustic harvest, Tuscan flair. It's like a high priced like $1 million home neighborhood. Tuscan flair, rustic harvest. I live in rustic harvest.
Rustic Harvest hickory smoked chicken breast with cheddar cheese with cranberries, cranberry cider spiced nuts and multi-grain crisps. They're not crackers, they're crisps. Yeah, you're right. It's all marketing. But hey, look, Mike, they're all natural, it says.
Still using that old bullshit from 30 years ago, 40 years ago, all natural. Still using it.
Still sticking that on the label. $3 for a Lunchable and $3.29 for the adult Lunchable. That is so crazily expensive. And it's like going back to these Japanese lunches. What are they charging kids for one of these lunches? Like look at that lunch. That costs 250 yen. Now for the Japanese, if you are living in that economy and that's the money you're making, it's going to be worth a little bit less than the US dollar, but still $2.50 is equivalent. This particular article says it's equivalent to $2.50. That's not accurate, but that was 3 years ago. It's more like, I don't know, 250 yen's more like maybe like $2 US dollars, something like that. which it's about $2, maybe $1.90 for this. Like I would pay probably $10 for that at a restaurant. You're telling me kids are paying $2 for this in school?
It's making me hungry right now looking at it.
Look at this delicious soup of vegetables and tofu and mushrooms and carrots. Look at these pickles, rice. I'm guessing that's probably either sesame seeds or shiso. Here's a pickled side, and they have tea. It's making me hungry too.
Yeah, the pickled stuff is always good for your gut.
Yep, they have pickles.
The pickled stuff, the sauerkraut, the kimchi. It's all great for your gut lining.
I could ask my wife; she's in the other room. What did you have for lunch? And I actually asked her about lunch this morning in school. I should bring her in here and say, "Hey, what do you think about these American lunches?" I should ask her. Hey, Haruna. Oh, maybe she's not in the other room. I thought she wasn't in there. Hey, Haruna. She must have her headphones in or something. If she walks over here, they'll ask her what she thinks about school lunches in America.
She probably wouldn't be able to identify what that is. She's like, what am I looking at? Like, don't tell her what it is. Just like, can you tell me what is that?
What is it? Literally looks like cat food. It looks like what, if you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it looks like what Frank and Charlie,
yeah, it's supposed to be a ground beef. It's supposed to be a ground beef sandwich that looks nothing like a good ground beef. That's absolutely disgusting.
I don't know what's worse, that or the pizza. That's gross.
Pizza stop. What does that say underneath it? Pizza stop. I don't know.
Plaza. I don't know what that is. Taco surprise. The surprise is it's not fucking tacos.
The surprise is you're gonna die.
Well, here's another one. I didn't even see this. See, they put green beans. All those are healthy, right? I'm sure you've noticed this, Mike, and I'm sure listeners have noticed this. Has anybody in the chat ever noticed that a lot, even if you go to like natural grocers, they put sugar in the green beans. They put like granule sugar in the peas, in the corn. You ever seen that?
Yeah, you got to be careful when buying green beans. But there are companies with green beans in a can you can get organic where it's just green beans and water, green beans.
Yes, that's it.
That's it. That's what you're getting. How easy is that?
So I'm going to look at the chat here real quick. Blair M says celery is awesome. It also comes with its own floss.
Oh, yeah, I love celery. It's great.
Celery, if you're going to juice celery, I learned this. If you're going to juice celery, juice it last because the floss gets caught in the juicer. But yeah, celery's great. Ryan Telberg says abs are made in the kitchen. Yep. Let's see what else we have. We have a lot of people in the chat. I wish I had a way to let you control the chat, Mike, because I got to control a bunch of stuff here.
We'll figure it out. This is only the second show
that you've done with us yet, or live with us.
Yep.
Oh, here Blair M says, I used to work in a cheese factory. We supplied 100% of the cheese to McDonald's, 95% of the Burger Kings. It's not real cheese. We have an insider, Mike. Not real cheese.
That makes sense.
Let's see what else we have. I have a whole bunch of people in the chat room.
Okay, even as a kid, when I was looking at those cheese slices in the plastic, even as a kid, that the super bright orange made really no sense to me. I'm looking at this, I'm like, is this really the color of the cheese? This like neon orange, like it's so disgusting, dude.
So gross.
Wrapped, like squished in that like plastic where you had to like pull it off of it.
It's so disgusting. I'm just one nut says melted cheese on styrofoam. It's basically like yellow styrofoam.
Yeah.
God, it's so disgusting. Corey McDonald joined us. Hey guys, howdy Corey. Let's see who else we have in the chat. A lot of people in the chat.
Share the show with friends. Continue to share. We want to kind of grow this.
Flux says we have a whistleblower. Yes. Blair is our whistleblower. It's not real cheese.
Like and subscribe, please.
Yeah, and you can subscribe to YouTube. I don't care about YouTube though. Subscribe to the archive to get access to the full archive of shows. This is just a
yes, but like this, to give a thumbs up for this.
Yes, please. It'll really help the show out. Leave us a review If you leave a review on Apple, you subscribe, or you listen to the free archive. Those are the best ways. Again, most of our listeners are in the audio archive, so this is just a special thing we do for listeners on Fridays. What else do we have in the chat? Cindy says that doesn't even look like food. Well, that's because it's not. It's not food. King Sweet says hybridized veggies are flavorless. Got to get people to eat it somehow. Sugar triggers a response, makes people unable to resist it subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why a can of Coke's got 36 grams of sugar in it, or 30 or something close to 33 or whatever. That's still way beyond. I shouldn't have any. What
should be any?
You shouldn't be drinking it first off at all, because it's disgusting. But hey, I drink it. I get the Mexican sugar, real sugar from in a bottle.
Yeah, that's better.
That's not better.
Yeah, it's better.
Hillshire Farms. I think a Chinese company owns Hillshire now.
Really, I didn't know that. Hillshire.
Yeah.
Gnarly Sheen says the leading brand in meat product.
Can you look it up real quick? Just do it. Hillshire Chinese.
Yeah. Who owns Hillshire Farms?
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by Tyson. So by Tyson Foods.
Okay.
Yep. By the way, they also, there's a lot of good documentaries on this. Tyson Foods and some of these other meat companies, they basically enslave the farmers. You ever seen those documentaries? What they do to those farmers? They basically they have it's like a music industry contract. They completely control their lives. One bad harvest, you're done. The contracts they sign with some of these farmers. All right. So, yeah, Deborah says plastic slices. It's pretty much what they are. Okay, Mike. So we've looked at these school lunches. I'm still trying to identify what that is. I'm not really sure. We got the comment of the week. We can occupy Japan for 80 years, yet can't compete with them on school lunches. Yeah. And they tell you, these people outside the U.S., everybody's just so stupid. Americans are so smart. No, we have an IQ that is on the downfall. If you want high IQs and healthy people that look young, you come to the Eastern world. And it's not exclusive to the Eastern world. It's just that's typically, people are living a much more traditional lifestyle. And yet we make fun of like ancient Chinese medicine. We make fun of like acupuncture and, even certain kinds of massage therapy. Insurance won't cover it. It's pseudoscience. It's so ridiculous and disgusting. Okay, Mike. So here, this brings us. I think this brings us to a conclusion on everything we've discussed in this first hour. I wanted to show you some of these stories. Look at this article here, like it's some kind of big news. Reuters reports weight loss before in vitro fertilization and also before you get pregnant may improve the odds of pregnancy. Like if you're not overweight and fat, it might be easier to get pregnant. I love it. It's like we're rediscovering things. Like we're rediscovering the wheel. We're rediscovering fire. We're rediscovering like hygiene. Like, yeah, it's easier to get pregnant if you're not overweight and sick. It shouldn't be a surprise. And here's another one. There's a story here about, I think I still have it up. Where's it at? Nope. Let me pull it up. Scientific American. And then we're going to move on to the Baskin Robbins stuff. Scientific American breastfeeding. Look at this article. This is a relatively recent article from Scientific American. It's okay not to breastfeed. Exclusive breastfeeding is not imperative, and the breast is best mantra can be harmful to babies and parents, especially for marginalized people.
Wow.
So we're telling young women don't breastfeed because it's racist.
Marginalized.
I don't understand what is going on in the world, man. I don't think that, and it's an opinion piece, but people read this and believe it. In fact, it's not just an opinion piece. The United States told the UN 8-9 years ago that breastfeeding was bad and that you should put your kids on formula. It's like, no, that would actually hurt marginalized people. You know how expensive formula is? That shit's outrageous. You should breastfeed. It's free. But we're rediscovering things. And here's I wanted to ask you a question about this story, and then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go to the Baskin Robbins story. But I saw this. I think I can play it. I don't know if you can hear it, but this is about a teenager who built an application that lets you scan your food, and then it tells you how many calories are in it. And I don't know if you can hear this, but you can at least see it on the screen. And I don't know if it has captions, but I'm going to play this.
Cal AI. It tracks your calorie intake using artificial intelligence. It's also one of the top health and fitness apps in Apple's App Store.
It wasn't sustainable for my lifestyle to type in everything I was eating. So along with one of my co-founders, we hypothesized that we could build an app where you could just take a picture of your food, and then it will tell you the calories and macros of what you're eating.
Now, I like the idea, but the thing is, you don't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. Just eat real food. And we have to create new apps, and we have to have, look at these weight loss drugs like Ozempic. And now there's a condition called Ozempic face and Ozempic breast and Ozempic butt because people have lost so much money or so much, Freudian slip. They've lost so much weight. Now they're having to spend a bunch of money on surgeries. There's a cosmetic surgery boom because of Ozempic face. It just is one problem after another problem after another problem when it's so simple. It doesn't matter how many calories are in your blueberries. Just fucking eat blueberries. You know what I mean?
Is the face thing they're losing weight so fast that it's distorting their face and then they have to get surgery to make it kind of look normal again?
Correct. That's correct.
That's crazy.
Losing a lot of weight, and so they have to get surgery. The thing is, though, that when you have Ozempic, for the people that don't have severe reactions to it, because it's basically poisons you. They'll be like, oh, but I lost weight on it. I bet you did. If you cut off your right leg, you're going to lose weight too. That doesn't mean that, you're going to be able to, you won't be able to do that Japanese walking anymore, but you'll have lost weight because you cut off your leg. Like, people say, oh, it makes me feel better. Well, so does heroin, I've heard. So does fentanyl. That doesn't mean that you should take heroin and fentanyl. Plus, if you get off of it or you don't, some of this stuff is fake. Even, I think, how do I say fake? Because Ozempic's technically fake too. But people are taking things that are like off market. Those are extra dangerous. And then the weight just comes back because you're living the same lifestyle. And so this Ozempic is, if it doesn't cause drastic health effects in the immediate, it does in the long term. And then people are just imagine going to get surgery, Mike. This is what I was thinking. This is why I sent you the article. You go get surgery, and then the Ozempic doesn't work anymore, and then all of it comes back. What's it going to do? Like rip your face apart? You've had your face stapled and glued and taped, and then the fat comes back, and people are going to just explode. It's gross. Everything is fine in the chat. Says breastfed kids are way healthier. Yeah, they're way healthier. Less diseases, less mental problems. It's very, 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 very well known. Okay, Mike. So, I wanted to show you this. You want to read that headline to yourself to get a laugh. 50,000 aesthetic surgeries have been performed in Israel since the war began. I guess that they're trying to look less Jewish.
Wow.
It's a lot of cosmetic surgery
Since the war began.
Maybe that they don't want to be identified as Jewish, so they're getting.
It looks like this lady's getting like Botox or in her lips or something.
I think that's one of those stock images.
Yeah, they had to find a goy picture to put there.
Well, we didn't get through a show without mentioning it.
GoSlop. Forgot to mention that. It's what that school lunch is on the Insiders call GoSlop.
Yes, I have an appendix in my new book about that. A GoSlop appendix. It's in there. By the way, I sent that to you if you get a chance to skim through it.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have any comments, any thoughts, or a pre-thought to?
Yeah, when this came out, a lot of like right-leaning programs like Neurotic and The Quartering were pleased that the industry, the advertising industry in general, is going in the direction of being non-woke. So they were kind of looking at this as like, hey, she's proud to be white. There's a play on genetics and genes, and she's got blue eyes. And they were saying that the left, this is all yin yang, low consciousness, right? Going back and forth with this. But they were saying that, the left is going crazy because it's a white person that's proud to be who she is and her blue eyes. And so both sides were playing. That's what this really, when it first came out, her gene thing, that's what was going back and forth. But it was just a low conscious debate on just bullshit, It's obviously that the advertiser was just trying to cash in and doing something opposite directly of what most commercials are still in that kind of woke genre, they said, okay, let's do something different because to try to make money off this and do something totally opposite. That's what it all was. It was just a marketing advertising scheme.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I just watched the new episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they were arguing about going woke and going broke. And as they were arguing about that, Dennis made the realization, one of the characters made the realization, he's like, wait a minute, so if you go woke, you go broke. Isn't that the same thing as like cancel culture? And then they started debating that, and it's the same exact thing. So when people are like, well, we're going to take back America and we're going to put some blonde girl in a commercial, and if you don't like it, then get out of here. I don't see that as productive. I see that as a petty, juvenile thing. I don't know if that's kind of what you're getting at, but that's the way that I perceive it. It's very childish and juvenile.
Yeah.
And I get that people would, I'd rather look at Sydney Sweeney than some of these 300-pound green-haired, feminists, but that it doesn't solve a problem. And in fact, I think it actually contributes to the problem, frankly. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, kind of like you said, it's still making that divide between left and right, and who's right, who's wrong.
Yes.
Obviously, yeah. Do you want to see someone that's athletic rather than someone that's fat that's trying to sell, I don't know, whatever could be, But it doesn't make sense. Like that a lot of these commercials, that you've got overweight women trying to sell ice cream, Oh
God, I remember that commercial. God, that was gross.
Yeah, it was. Remember that commercial?
Yeah, I remember that commercial.
Yeah, it was like a lady dancing in her bra and panties, like totally fat, jiggling. And she was proud of her body, and she was proud that she was going to go eat some ice cream.
There was another one I know that with Fitbit, for some reason, they had a very large black woman on a surfboard.
Yes, I remember that one too.
And there was another one. Was it the Fitbit commercial where they had the big black woman pole dancing?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
which is so ridiculous because even if you're like a thin girl, pole dancing is hard. It's not something that you can easily do. They act like, oh, if you get a Fitbit, you can pole dance. I think Bill Hicks was right. If you're an advertiser, just kill yourself, frankly. Seriously, not a joke. It's no punchline. So I wanted to show you something. This is an interesting poll. There are tens of millions of people, close to 75 million people that took this poll. I'm going to show it to you on the screen. This is about Sydney Sweeney and she's not really random. She's a model in Japan, but this picture of this Japanese woman it's a real picture. She was going to like a business meeting or something for some event, and they just snapped a picture of her. And of 76 million people, and including Elon Musk that posted this, asking who was more beautiful in America, like I think it was 77.1% selected the random Japanese girl over Sydney Sweeney. Now, I don't know what that means to you, but I thought that was really interesting. In other words, like a lot of Americans are also rejecting Sydney Sweeney, I guess. And maybe that's because they realize what we realize, and that it's just another form of divide and conquer. They're just selling you something fake. It's not real. I mean, neither is this other woman, but it's not real. It's fake.
It's like if you were seeing ads by CNN for 3 years straight, and all of a sudden Fox News starts to do ads. Then people are like, yeah, this is what I wanted. But it's still divide and conquer, right?
Yep. It is. So I thought this was fake. The Sydney Sweeney Baskin Robbins advertise. I thought it was fake because of the jeans controversy. I thought it was AI or something like that. So anyway, I looked it up, and it's real. And I saw her eating this. I thought it was gross. She's eating one of these Baskin Robbins cones, which has like gummy bears and food coloring and all that stuff.
First off, she ain't gonna eat that.
No, she probably spit it out after the commercial.
Yeah, no, they probably just took it away from her right after the photo shoot ended and said thank you, and she's like, "Where's my check?"
I think she took a bite of it, but I don't think she swallowed it. And I looked it up.
That's what she said. Yep.
That's what she said. Yeah, I was going to say that, but Mike beat me to it. So I looked up what does she actually eat, just out of curiosity. So she has she does berries for breakfast, morning workouts, no sugary drinks. So in other words, this girl is a sellout, because if you eat healthy and then you're taking money to promote a product that is poisoning Americans, you're a piece of garbage. I don't care how big your tits are. That's what makes me upset about this. I don't partake of the left-right, arguments and paradigms. I don't like it. I don't hate it because she's blonde or something. I dislike it because this woman is kind of like a health nut in a way, and yet she's taking money to sell poison to people. That's disgusting. That's gross.
Remember when Britney Spears was asked, she had that Pepsi sponsorship, and she was asked if she drinks Pepsi, and her head kind of exploded. And she's like, oh my God, if you YouTube that, like Britney Spears Pepsi, you can bring it up, but it's like her head exploded. She's like, oh yeah, she's shaking her head no, but then shaking yes, I drink Pepsi. But it was crazy. You gotta look it up later. Look it up. You'll be like, yeah.
I'll look it up after the show for sure.
These stars, obviously they don't. You think like Michael Jordan back in the day when he was doing McDonald's commercials, being a multimillionaire, that guy was eating McDonald's? Are you kidding me? He can eat anything. He can eat anything he wants. You think he's going to go to McDonald's?
Antonio says, whore. Ryan Telberg says, yep. I'm one nut says, sell out. Corey McDonald says, exactly. And Flux says, hypocrite. See, I just don't think it's funny. And you get these like conservative Republican people that think, she's beautiful. It brings back America. I mean, it doesn't. If it does bring back America, it doesn't bring back a very good message. It's a bad message. Sell out your values for a few dollars to poison people.
Yeah, they should have asked. It's like, when's the last time you actually went into a Dunkin Donuts? She probably couldn't answer the question.
Baskin Robbins or Dunkin Donuts.
Yeah, exactly. She'll sell it for you though for the right price,
But that's capitalism.
What you're doing is, again, like you said, Baskin Robbins is poison. Dunkin Donuts is poison.
Gross.
And we'll go look about the ingredients on their websites.
I'm gonna see if I can find some more, and we will. Just one moment. I'm gonna look up Baskin Robbins ad with Sydney Sweeney so you can see some of these other pictures. I don't want to play it because I don't know on YouTube, since we don't normally do YouTube. I don't know if it's an issue to do that. But here are some of the other images. Let's see if we can find some of the advertising images. I spelled Robbins right. Baskin Robbins ad, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, so she's got like a sugary drink, which she explicitly doesn't consume. And then she has this disgusting cone. People ask me questions in the past, like, what kind of women do you find attractive? And I said, ones that don't eat stuff like this. I don't care how beautiful you are. If you eat this, you're a disgusting person as far as I'm concerned. It's gross.
It's probably like a $4,000 dress. You think she's going to go into Dunkin Donuts with that and eat that with that dress on?
Yeah, but see, people. Yeah, you're right. But people are. Someone in the chat said this too. People are so unconscious that the advertisers are just like, well, put her big tits in a dress and push them up and give her a sugary drink and people will buy it. And it's true. They will. The ad is extremely successful.
Notice how they're using a lot of pink for the feminine. So it gets away from like the masculine, feminine ads that you would see of these women. Now it's back to like the pink. Look at her. She's like, the girl next door.
Oh my God.
I'm eating, and that's a weird photo to take of your mouth open ready. I mean, you got to open your mouth that wide to suck on a straw. That's a little.
Well, you know what that is? That's just they're using sex. Maybe if I buy Baskin Robbins, she'll give me a BJ.
Look at all those cute gummies on that ice cream cone.
Well, we're going to look at the ingredients. I don't want to get into this, but you know who founded Baskin Robbins, right? And Dunkin Donuts and Haagen-Dazs, right? We did it. We talked about that on a relatively recent show. It's the tribe. They founded all of that. They founded Baskin Robbins, founded by Burt Baskin and Irv Robbins. Dunkin Donuts was founded by William Rosenberg. So
Good
yeah,
old-
they're going to
good old-
make it sexual.
The good old Rosenberg.
They're going to make it sexual. They're going to sell you the GoSlop. I mean, this
I
is
wonder
what
if my
it takes
credit
to sell
score will
out.
increase if I change my last name to Silverstein. The bank gave me a loan with no interest if I go in.
I already beat you to it.
Michael
2020.
Silverstein, welcome. Come in the back. We have a no interest loan. How much money do you need, Mike?
Silver Goldenberg. So anyway, I find this to be disgusting because I'm supposed to look at her legs or something or her tits or something when really I'm looking at the ingredient list. That's what I want to know. And so I looked at, and we're going to look at Dunkin Donuts too here. I looked up Baskin Robbins, Mike. I looked up their ingredients and I love how they have, and this is the link to their website too. They're like, what we don't like. We don't like high saturated fats. We don't like things, that are high in sugars. Well, what do you think that is? That's not high in sugar. The cone is made of sugar. These marketers, man, kill yourself. It's crazy. We also don't like select flavors contain high fructose corn syrup, carrageenan, and or artificial flavors. We don't like those things.
Well, they should have said we don't like GMOs either or preservatives.
It's funny they say that because let's look at some of their ice cream. Here's the caramel turtle truffle ice cream. Look at these ingredients. Look at how disgusting that is. But they don't like these things, but it's still in the ice cream. Look at that. Natural flavors. So they just said we don't like natural flavors, artificial flavors, but here they are in the ice cream. So they market to you that they don't do the stuff that they're actually doing.
A lot of corn in there from those first couple of ingredients, and then people say, "Why can't I eat this ice cream? I break out in hives." Well, maybe you're allergic to corn because look at your ingredients; it's in there, and obviously it's GMO.
God, that is so gross. Some of these I've never even heard of some of these ingredients before. Look at this. Oh my God.
Polysorbate 80 is in so much crap. I always see that come up. The polysorbate 80.
Yes. It's in vaccines too.
What is that? Is that like a preservative of some type?
It's used as a preservative. I think it's also dangerous for pregnant women, if I recall. It's a synthetic compound used as a surfactant and emulsifier in various products, including cosmetics and pharmaceuticals and food. It helps to mix ingredients that typically don't blend well. Yeah, because it's not food.
Yeah, they love those emulsifiers in there. They love them.
So let's look at that again. What we don't like. See that? What we don't like. We don't like artificial flavors. And then you scroll down, and what do you think's in this? Artificial flavors. If you don't like them, why are they in the ice cream?
Exactly.
See, if I was Sydney Sweeney and I had big tits, what I would do is I would do the ad. I would take money from them, and then I would use the money to start a campaign against them. That's what I would do if I didn't already have a bunch of money anyway. But I would bring awareness to it with my big tits. That's what I would do. That's how I would look at it. Let's see what else we have here, and we'll look at Dunkin Donuts. You're going to take us through Dunkin Donuts because you sent me that list. Here's another one. Your friend polysorbate 80s in the chocolate ice cream at Baskin Robbins.
There we go. Got to have it.
But Mike, there's only 170 calories in a scoop of ice cream. Look, oh my God, there's 3 grams of protein. Look at that. Are you tired of hearing about that? Are you tired of hearing about the protein thing? I love how most Americans, 80% of Americans, I think, are deficient in vitamin D. We're deficient in vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E. We're deficient in fiber, but we got a lot of protein.
Yeah, you need. Yeah, again, yeah, they love to advertise the protein.
God.
Can you let me play this for the Britney Spears? Let me see if you can hear this real quick. When she's asked if she just did like a multi-million-dollar deal with Pepsi and was asked by the interview if she likes Pepsi. Let me play it for you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
You and me. How much Pepsi do you think you drink? Really?
I can barely hear it. It's kind of low.
Okay. Well, she's like she's like, oh, I love Pepsi. And then she's like, he asked what kind, and she's like, Pepsi's Pepsi. She didn't know. She doesn't drink Pepsi.
No idea. Gnarly Sheen says it's a personal preference. Of course, we don't like them, but that doesn't mean we won't give it to you. That's true. That's basically the tribal philosophy, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah,
we don't like the artificial flavors, but it's okay if you eat them.
It's Charlie Sheen. If there's drugs in the house, please find them and give them to me. That's the interview lady asked him. Do you do drugs? Are there drugs here? He's like, if there are, please find them and give them to me.
Blair M, look at people making jokes in the chat. Blair M says it's Jew food, sugar and spice and everything, world domination. Everybody in the chat's really on fire tonight.
The sugar is a big problem. So there you have cream, right? You have non-filled milk, you have sugar, then you have sugar again with the corn syrup. So you got a
all
double
subsidized. Dairy, sugar, and corn, all subsidized industries.
Yeah, and annatto, if I said that right, is a carcinogen that's been proven to cause cancer.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it?
Yeah.
It sounds natural though, Mike. Look, artificial and natural flavor.
You need both to make it taste good. You need natural, whatever natural means, and artificial. So you don't even know what this natural is, because they could put anything they could put dog shit in there and say that's natural and artificial flavor. What's a natural flavor compared to it's like a mind F, because they want to say, oh, it's natural flavor. Oh, and then we have artificial, but we have natural flavor. Okay. We've got the artificial that might turn you off, but listen, we have natural flavor also.
So it's totally natural.
Yeah.
And they mix it together too.
Don't worry about it. You know, we got to add these stabilizers in there and emulsifiers so it doesn't like melt in your hand.
I've got a really great. I played this one time on the show, so I know that I can get away with playing it on YouTube. It's not an issue. I want to show you something, Mike. And we'll go into the Dunkin' Donut ingredients. Give me one moment. I don't know if you can. Could you hear that other video I played about the application?
I could.
You could. Okay,
Yes.
Great. So hold on a second. I'm going to play this old SpongeBob clip here. I think it's silly, but listen to it. It's really good. Let's see. I found it last time. I don't want to spend too much time trying to find it, but if I can find it, this is such a great clip because it absolutely explains. I'll try one more here. SpongeBob. I'm trying to find for anybody that knows SpongeBob, I'm trying to find the one where Mr. Krabs sells the Krusty Krab, and there's just this company takes it over, and they start pumping out sandwiches using like a gray slot machine, and then they spray paint it. I guess we'll just have to skip over this. I can't seem to find it. Oh no, I found it. Okay, Mike, can you see this? Because this is exactly what I'm talking about. This sums up our show tonight.
Yes.
Where's the...
Isn't that the American Food Supply?
Totally. They know. What do you think they're showing you?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, well, here we got cotton candy. I'll look at this cotton candy one. Cream candy. What? Okay. So look at this. This is the one I had read before the show. Cotton candy flavored base. And then they have a separate ingredient list for the cotton candy flavored base. So this is a drop-down menu. This is a sub-ingredient list within an ingredient list. Do you see that?
Yeah.
A sub-ingredient list. It's made. Yeah. I'm sorry. You should read it. You're funnier than I am. Read that.
The cotton candy flavored base is made with corn syrup, water, sugar, artificial flavor, sodium citrate, and citric acid.
And if I'm reading that right, or you're reading that right, that's a sub menu from the actual ingredient list.
Yeah, so it's added extras for you. But look, we have vegetable juice for color, beet, and red sweet potato.
Yeah, that's healthy, isn't it? And they also put spirulina extract. So you get your spirulina dose in there too. Oh God, it's so great. And polysorbate 80. Oh, look at this. I didn't notice this too. Look, they have it's called stabilizer emulsor blend. And that's also a drop-down sub ingredient list. So the stabilizer emulsor blend also contains polysorbate 80, garu gum, cellulose gum, mono, and diglycerides. So that's, even if you read the ingredient list and you're like, well, this isn't so bad, you have to read 2 separate ingredient lists to understand the original ingredient list. This should be illegal.
It's like a drop-down menu for a website. Got to keep finding stuff.
Yeah. Wow. I don't understand how you get away with this stuff. This has to be against the law, or they got a team of lawyers that, like with Dairy Queen, which isn't real ice cream, that select certain words so that it's technically legally correct and they can get away with selling it. But I think it's consumer fraud when you tell the public that we don't like X, Y, and Z, and then you still put that in your food. That's got to be fraud, because it obviously, you're advertising that. It implies that you don't have those ingredients, and then that's actually what's in it anyway. That's got to be consumer fraud. All right. Anyway, tell us about Dunkin' Donuts. I'm going to give the floor to you now, Mike. Tell us about Dunkin' Donuts.
Everybody seems to love Dunkin' Donuts, especially like millennials.
Erica runs on Dunkin'.
Yeah, especially like these millennials now. They always have like TikTok and Instagram pictures of them going into Dunkin' Donuts. But if you go and look at their ingredients, it's just the same old crap. And the thing that I also researched was, because I remember those commercials as a kid. It was like that fat, short guy, it's time to make the donuts. So he'd get in there at like 5 a.m. in the morning and start making the donuts. Do you remember those old commercials, Dunkin' Donuts? You might be, but
No,
I remember
I
as a kid, there was like this guy who was like short and fat, and he was like had his like chef gear on, baker gear on. He's like, time to make the donuts, time to make the donuts. So he'd get up at the crack of dawn to make the donuts. That was back in the probably one of those commercials are still those were like the early 90s or whatever. But I always thought to myself, all right, do they really make the donuts there? I mean, do they cook? Do they do that? Because this is a lot of donuts to make, but it could be done. You could make donuts fresh every morning before the store opens and still make enough.
Bakeries do. Bakeries used to do that, right?
Yeah, still make enough to satisfy your customer count. So looking it up, I learned from a franchisee who talked about it, is that majority of the Dunkin' Donuts chains do not make their own donuts. What they do is, some of them, these franchises form kind of like a group together, where then they'll rent a place to make the donuts. Like they'll rent like a manufacturing facility, they'll split the costs, and they'll make the donuts there and then ship them to the stores. But he said the vast majority of these franchises who are trying to make that extra cheap dollar get the donuts flash frozen in. So obviously, if you're trying to make the most money, most of these places probably, I'm assuming, but you can go into your local Dunkin' Donuts and ask them, are these donuts, freezed donuts, or do you make the donuts every morning yourself? There's only 3 answers they can give you, right? Yes, we make the donuts. Yes, we make the donuts from a facility and they get shipped here in the morning, but we don't make them in the store. Or yes, we get the donuts, we get them shipped and frozen, and we reheat them. Which I think option 3 is probably most stores.
So it's basically it's dough and sugar and chemicals that have been frozen and then thawed.
Yeah, they flash freeze it. That's what it's called.
See, a listener in the chat, Flux, just said, don't they spray paint the grill lines on the burgers at Burger King? And when I was reading, I remember that, Flux. I forgot about it, but you're right. They spray paint, or they have like a little metal grate they put over the burger. But that's what they used to. Some of the small restaurants do that. What they do at Burger King is that, just like Mike was saying, is that they cook these things with like blasts of hot air, and the patties, like the donuts, come with this. Well, usually that they come with like this, grill mark on it. So it's not even a real grill mark. It's fake. And which means that anybody arguing that we shouldn't have like alternative burgers because they're not real meat, well, neither is what you're eating at Burger King. It's not real burger. It's not grilled, and the donuts aren't real. Like, what is real, Mike?
What is real? That's a good question. I mean, if you're really looking for a donut, you can make You can make your donuts at home by yourself, really, if you wanted to make a donut. Or you can maybe find a local homegrown shops that probably make their donuts in store, like a mom and pop donut shop. Not to say that donuts are the most healthiest thing in the world to eat anyway, right? But if you're feeding for a donut, you definitely shouldn't go do the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through.
The last time I went to Dunkin' Donuts, I'll never forget this. I went to Dunkin' Donuts in Orlando when I was in film school at Full Sail. And my friend and I at the time we were writing, we both wanted to be writers. So we were writing like a treatment script. And it was a comedy. And we thought, it was like 3 a.m. We thought, like, we got to get something to eat or drink. And I was still eating bad food. We're talking like 2009. So I was eating bad food, and we went to Dunkin' Donuts. And I remember, and we ended up writing like a skit about it for school, because we go to Dunkin' Donuts and it's drive-through only. And the woman, and I never heard this before, the woman said, we ordered a drink, and she said, okay, what kind of sugar do you want? And I said, just whatever the flavor is. And she said, well, we have liquid sugar, we have like invert sugar, we have like chemical sugar. And I was like, what the just regular sugar. Even then, when I was eating this, I was like, what the fuck is invert sugar? Just regular sugar. They got a long list of these sugars they're adding to a tea.
Well, in these college towns, like from the get-go, these fast food places were all there, right? So every college town, you can find all these fast food places, because students were broke and they were just trying to eat whatever, and then you had the McDonald's there.
Yep, that's right.
But not anymore, right? Because now the thing is, I don't go there, so I don't know the prices of these fast food places, but from what I'm reading and seeing is like these fast food places have all raised their prices, and you're better off going, a couple levels up to maybe like a Five Guys or something, rather than McDonald's, and you get a better quality burger, because what you're paying, they've raised their prices so much that it's not even cheap anymore for most people. They don't have things like extra value meals anymore.
Stuff's expensive too. The cost of like any kind of quote value meal at any restaurant, fast food, it's so expensive.
Yeah. So I wonder, just as an experiment, I know we did with the Girl Scouts cookies, but I wonder if even Baskin Robbins back in the day, let's say like the 70s, 80s, I wonder if their ice cream ingredients were different. That's a good.
We could research that.
We should research that and see, because I think maybe it was before the invention of all these chemical dyes and preservatives. Maybe in the 70s and 80s, they actually had 5 ingredients in their ice cream.
Well, it was founded by the tribe, so, but maybe I could look these up. Baskin Robbins. Oh, here we go. History of Baskin Robbins. This is their website. I don't know if it has ingredient lists though. No, I don't think it has an ingredient list, just the history of them. But that's something we could do in a future show.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool, because I'm assuming that it probably was different ingredients, just like we did for the Girl Scouts cookies, right? The Girl Scout cookies were completely different.
Completely different. Yep. I mean, they still weren't the best, but they were much, much different.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't.
Still wasn't good in 1960, but it's better than what it was now.
Yes. Well, and they definitely didn't have, probably didn't have a lot of glyphosate in them back then. I want to look up one more time. Let's see. What is the ingredient list of Campfire S'mores ice cream from Baskin Robbins? In 1975, I think it said that was debuted. I'm looking that up right now. Let's see if we can find anything about it. Okay, yeah, I found a small list made of wheat, flour, sugar, butter, oil, honey, baking soda, and salt. So it was better. At least the graham cracker was. The ice cream was cream, sugar, cacao. They did use corn syrup even back then. I don't know, you could arguably say that I guess it depends on which of the ice creams it was. It might be the same, but some of them looked a little bit better, maybe. Not much, but maybe a little bit better. That's all done for financial reasons to make money.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like when they franchise these stores out, these franchise owners want to make as much money as possible, right? So what do? Do you spend the time and effort to make the donuts fresh? Or do you figure the general public doesn't care? They're going to get their donut. Let me order them, frozen, and we'll heat them up.
So what does that tell us? If you think of Dunkin Donuts, they say America runs on Dunkin'. Well, that actually explains a lot. If America runs on Dunkin', then America runs on processed sugar, dough, wheat, modified chemical, fried garbage that's frozen and then reheated the next day. That is disgusting.
And caffeine.
And lots of caffeine, right? Yeah, lots.
What Dunkin' Donuts does is like every month they do some type of advertising crazy thing where they'll have some type of new product, or some movie tie-in, like Ghostbusters.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Ghostbusters will have like a green donut for the slime. So they do this, like they tie in with these movies and the advertisements to try to probably get more so teenagers, young people to buy. Oh, look at that. It's like, it's kind of like what the Starbucks did with the unicorn?
Yeah, the unicorn frappuccino.
Yeah, unicorn frappuccino. Try to get the ladies in there to get the unicorn frappuccino.
As a matter of fact, the unicorn frappuccino was the first time I had ever seen one of those drop-down ingredient lists. I'm looking it up again right now because I know that you remember this, Mike. Remember, it says on the ingredient list that it's like, what do they call it? Blue drizzle.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think was the ingredient.
Drizzle, yeah.
And then the blue drizzle had its own kind of drop-down menu, and it was like its own separate ingredient list.
Well, remember how that first started. It was like a viral sensation on Instagram that somebody took some photos of it. And look at me, I have this like new drink from Starbucks, the unicorn, and It went viral. And, for some reason, everybody had to go in and get one.
Because the influencers told them to.
Yeah, because look at me. I'm so cool and popular and pretty that I'm drinking this. You should go get one too.
Christ, that reminds me of, I'm pulling up a few things here. That reminds me of that article. I had found it at one point. I might have to use Google to find it. Remember that story we did? It was about the Tom Brady diet. And this couple had said, we tried the Tom Brady diet. It was absolutely impossible. There's no way anybody could do this diet. And then they showed the image of the girl who was writing the article for her and her husband. And she had like a Coca-Cola on the table.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. See, and that was also because remember Brady was kind of leaning right, saying some right-wing stuff.
Yeah.
That's so stupid to say that, but saying he was leaning, he was more conservative based, talking conservative points. So when that lady, just looking at her, you can tell that she didn't like him mainly because of his political stance rather than the healthy diet he was trying to, look at this guy. He's conservative, trying to put out a healthy diet.
Yep. Here it is. I found the article. Remember this? This was the asshole. And here, look at this. The woman's like, well, I made this dinner. Yeah, that looks like an American school lunch. It's gross. Learn how to cook. So she sent that. I guess she just didn't eat that. And then they ordered the slop. And then there's an image down here.
Okay, it's like 90% fries in that.
Yeah, it's mostly deep fry. It's just, it's fries. And here's the image. And then we find out, Tom Brady had gone on a Boston radio show and said, I can't believe people feed their kids cereal. It's not real food. It's poison. And he talked about soda. And then lo and behold, this woman has a Coca-Cola. Turns out he's probably paid by Coca-Cola as an influencer because Coca-Cola can't attack the golden boy who makes billions of dollars for the NFL. That would look bad for Coca-Cola. So instead, they pay some influencer hack to do it for them. and then they slide a Coca-Cola in the frame. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that's a product placement just the way it's.
That.
You can see the label, and it's placed between the two glasses.
Yep, and you notice they have a red strip over here, and then this is red, and there's a little red here, so it pulls your eyes. You see, your eyes are directly pulled to the red. That's the filter they have on this.
And look at her face. Look at how look at just the posture of her, like her arms, elbows
down.
on people.
Look at this eye, right down to the Coca-Cola.
True. Look at, I mean, you got to be aware. I mean, these advertisers, like you said, they are bastards. And of course, we can do a whole show on it. But a lot of the pioneers of this brainwashing propaganda, yeah, they're tribe members.
They're also tribe members too. Yeah, that's right.
And you can look that up yourself. And when you start putting, again, like going back to the tribe thing, when you start putting the dots together and you see the vast amount of control and just weirdness, you will start to ask yourself questions.
I've asked a lot of questions. I've gotten in a lot of trouble. That's all I know. I found the ingredient list. Blue Drizzle. Sounds like a Snoop Dogg album. Blue Drizzle. That's in their Frappuccino. That actually, that reminds me, there's another story real quick I want to throw in here about, we'll go back to the Dunkin Donuts as well quickly. What was it? A tea trend. My goodness, what was it called? It was a tea trend. Hold on a second. I'm going to find this article. I think I saved it for the show tonight. I wanted to show this to you. Hold on. Maybe I did not. I thought I saved it. It said like a tea trend, men drinking tea to attract women or something. It's some kind of weird like tea. Can't find it. Basically, it was like women like to drink this weird tea, which is just total nonsense. Oh, here it is. Woke men mocked by women for obnoxious performance drinking habit. So women are like, if you drink matcha, you'll be healthy and connected to the spirit. And now men are just drinking matcha to get women, I guess. And I thought that was interesting because that's basically like, that's what these influencers are. It's men or women, usually women, that are like, well, I can't eat healthy food. I got to eat these nachos and drink this soda. But they actually don't even eat and drink that kind of stuff like Sydney Sweeney. They're just it's selling garbage through the image of sex. And it's really, really disgusting. And these are people that are, especially like the Frappuccino women that are like, yeah, look at this Frappuccino. Who do you think drinks that? That's a liberal drink. So these liberals that are like, don't sell sex. Women are empowered, or still are the ones that are like, well, you should have OnlyFans, and we're going to sell our bodies to sell food. But then they're also mad at Sydney Sweeney for doing the same thing.
Exactly.
They're all hypocrites, and it's gross.
Totally. So like, you can have your values, but you got to understand that both sides are playing you, right? Whatever your stance is, you're getting played, because that's there is.
I found that. Yes,
it's that old.
You want to see it?
I thought he had. Yeah, I see it. I thought he had newer ones, but go ahead, play that.
To make the donuts. Dunkin Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts.
Yeah, listen to Ron Jeremy.
Not a few guys like supermarket. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
Yeah.
No supermarket can say that.
No supermarket can say that. Well, Publix definitely can't say it because that's
time to make the GoSlop.
Equivalent. So let's go back to the Dunkin Donuts fast. I know you have to go, unless you want to stay for the rest of the show, but I know that you said you have to go a little early.
I could stay for another half hour. I'm good. We can keep going.
Okay. Here's the Dunkin Donut list. I'm going to give you the microphone.
Yes, go
take us
scroll
through
down,
this.
because that's a cold brew. I want to get to a donut.
There's a whole bunch of options here.
Star Spangled Bannered Sprinkled Donut.
America, yeah.
Whenever you see the word enriched, whenever you see the word enriched, again, it's a bullshit word. It's what they do is they strip out all the nutrients and then they enrich it back with with the reduced iron and the niacin, which is all bullshit, because why would you strip it out in the first place? And then they supposedly add back the wheat flour with these nutrients. But you see the palm oil, that's no bueno.
I'm gonna need the Hubble telescope to be able to figure out what this list. Look at this list. This is some very, very small print.
I mean, where's when we were looking at the donuts for, back in the day, it's just like you have the wheat first, then you have water, then you have palm oil, then you have yeast donut concentrate. I guess that's where you're getting the soy flour and the phosphate, sodium acid phosphate, and the baking soda. Then you're getting, again, well, they got to add more. We've got to add some more wheat starch to it. We already have wheat flour, but we've got to add the wheat starch. Then we're going to add the whey to it. And then again, we're going to add some more non-fat dry milk. And then we got to blend all this shit together. So we're going to gum blend it with your gum guar and your, I can't even pronounce what is Axena gum or whatever. And then you have a list of, then you have 3 lists of, again, non-pronounceable ingredients. And then it contains 2% less of soybean oil, a whole egg. They got to throw in a whole egg in there. Natural, again, you have the natural flavor. You've got this annatto extract, which is not good for you. You got the mono and diglycerides again. You got vanilla flavored buttercream filling. Palm oil again, canola oil again. So you had palm oil, and then you got palm oil again. You got canola oil. Then you got water again. Then you got high fructose corn syrup again.
Oh my God!
It's just telling you what the high fructose corn syrup contains. Again, you're getting another shot of monodiglycemiums, and you're getting potassium sorbate. We see that in everything. That potassium sorbate, that preservative. There you go. That polysorbate 60 again. Polysorbate 60 is your best friend because it shows up in all this shit. Then you got blue icing, and then you're gonna get more palm oil from all the extra shit in there. Then you're gonna get palm oil again. You're gonna get palm kernel. I mean, this is a criminal act, is what this is. It's your patriotic donut, your star-spangled donut.
What
happened again to the 5 ingredients?
I pledge allegiance to the high fructose corn syrup.
And if you're gonna, let's say you do the donut where it's got 5 ingredients, and you want to put like a blue icing on it, you can just do a natural. You can just do sugar, right, and blueberry juice to make it blue, and then now you got 7 ingredients.
Now Dunkin Donuts is the same one that they got caught with using titanium dioxide. Remember this? Or this story? This is 2015. I remember this like it was yesterday. We were doing a show about this. Dunkin Donuts finally ditches titanium dioxide. But is it really that bad?
You love that.
Yeah, it's really that bad.
Question mark.
Titanium dioxide. These people were poisoning you.
Let's just use common sense. You're eating a donut. Do you think your donut should contain titanium dioxide? Do you think that should be an ingredient when you're eating a donut? Just look at it rationally. The answer to your question with a question mark is no. I mean, is it actually common? Yes, I should say. It's a yes.
Yes. Well, it's like articles that say, is mercury really that bad for you? Yes. Yes, it is. You should not consume mercury. Well, the thing about this was it wasn't like there was random, quote, titanium dioxide. It was that the powdered sugar was comprised of titanium dioxide. So you're like, well, it's just some sugar. It's not even sugar. They put titanium dioxide in the sugar.
Yeah, in the sugar, in the powdered sugar, you need titanium dioxide for some reason. It's powdered sugar. That's the ingredient. The ingredient is powdered sugar.
And they use it, and they also use it. Well, they mostly use it in paper and paint, as well as plastic.
Yeah, they wanted to make it a little thicker and dense. So it says it's what makes the powdered sugar coating on the donuts appear so dense and snow white. Titanium dioxide gives it a boost.
Oh my God. I don't understand why. Is it the titanium dioxide? Is it the blue drizzle? Is it the Star Spangled Banner donut? Are these things poisoning our minds as well, that prevent us from wondering, not even realizing, but just wondering, like, hey, maybe it's this stuff that we're eating that's causing all the dementia, causing all the Alzheimer's, causing all of the diabetes, causing all of the heart disease, causing all of the inflammation, causing all of the diseases that we have. That maybe it's that we're not supposed to be eating or consuming any of this stuff. And that when we do it, the solution to getting healthy again is not to continue doing it and then to take Ozempic, or to continue doing it and then to just like get some kind of pharmaceutical drug to combat the side effects of eating all this trash. It must be poisoning our minds too. It has to be.
Yeah, totally. You know remember what was that place that we used to eat at that was like organic downtown? It got shut down off of like Robinson down. What was that place called? Remember that's organic restaurant. You can eat outside. It was right across from the Crystal Shop.
Where was this?
It was Orlando, downtown Orlando. It's like
Dandelion, the one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now I'm saying that because I'm going to bring up the divide again. I don't know if you ever did wear a shirt that was like maybe Hillary went to prison or something. Sent Hillary.
I did. I wore that shirt a lot. Yeah, I got kicked out for that.
The people in there would give you such looks because eating healthy is only a liberal thing in that particular restaurant. Wasn't that so weird?
Yeah, that's right. It was only a liberal thing to eat healthy. Exactly.
I think we were talking about what would happen if we wear like MAGA hats? What would happen? Would they refuse to serve us if we wear MAGA hats in there?
That's right. And I got kicked out of co-op because I had that Hillary Clinton shirt on.
Yeah, it's that just brings up the divide of even like eating healthy, you know. Well, you have this political view, so you shouldn't eat healthy.
Well, that's because they say that that eating healthy is a white supremacist ideology.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that before?
Yes, I've seen that before too.
In fact, I'm going to pull that up too. White supremacy, eating healthy. It's a Nazi idea. Those damn Nazis ate vegetables. Look at this. How toxic diet culture is rooted in white supremacy and racism. Unbelievable. Why do we say diet culture?
White supremacy culture and food systems.
Why do we say diet culture instead of the patriarchy?
God, man.
Okay, so real quick, Mike. My wife came in the room.
Yes.
She's not on video, but I've got her here to analyze the school lunches in America. So this is my wife, Haruna. You can come up and speak. What do you think of these school lunches, and what do you guys have in Japan that you ate when you were younger? You got to speak up here in the mic. Up here. So what do you think of lunch? Yeah, you got to speak it. Here, come up here. Come up here. Come up here. You got to speak in the mic. What do you think of American lunch?
A lot of fried food.
A lot of fried food.
And high calorie and a lot of sugar.
Does this look delicious to you? What is that? Can you identify what this is for us? Because my friend and I cannot figure out what this is. Bird feed, yes.
Yes.
Does that look like pizza? No, it doesn't. Fake pizza, yeah, fake pizza. Now, what about, serious question, Japanese lunch? Nihon no hirogohan. What is Japanese lunch?
Healthy and
you have to speak here.
Healthy and
healthy.
Healthy.
Pickles?
Balance? No pickle.
No pickle.
Soup and rice.
Healthy.
Healthy food.
Soup, rice, sakana, fish.
Soup, yeah, fish or meat. Yeah.
So different than American food.
Okay, and fruits.
I think this looks like cat food. Looks like cat food, yeah. All right, so my wife gave us the inside scoop. She thought that was bird feed, Mike.
Yes, it's close enough.
It looks like. Oh my God, it's so gross. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I wanted to get her opinion on this. Okay, so what else do we have in Dunkin' Donuts? We have this long list of ingredients.
I mean, every donut is you're going to get a paragraph, or more than 2 paragraphs of just garbage.
Gnarly Sheen said, "I promise you, birds eat better than us."
Oh yeah,
yeah, they do. They do eat better than us. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Train some crows to bring the right food to eat.
Fight milk. First alcoholic protein-based milk-based.
I mean, the Sunny shows. The Sunny shows were the first probably six seasons are just prime political. There's actually episodes that were banned.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
that's they don't show. I remember one where Frank dressed up as a. I don't know if it was supposed to be a black woman or a Hispanic woman.
Oh, he played Martinez.
Well, no, yeah, but no, that's a different one. He was talking about how the clams. So he was he was blaming his stomach issue on the clams. Remember that?
Yeah, that was Dee's old character from the original episodes where she dressed up like Taiwan Tammy and Martina Martinez.
Yes.
Yeah, Frank was It's not the clams.
That show is just classic.
Yeah, the original episodes especially, but even the new episodes are so funny.
Remember when he did the podcast and he's trying to change his voice and he was like,
"There's a war?
What wars? There's wars? What wars are you talking about? Wars?"
I just watched the new season too. They have a really great scene where they're talking about 9/11. Did you see the new season yet, or did you see that clip?
No, but I want to.
Oh my God! Here, I'm gonna play a little bit of this clip for you. They're arguing about 9/11. They argue themselves into conspiracy theory, and by the end of the conversation, they start saying things like, "I don't even think there were planes. I don't think there were even buildings." This is so funny. I'll play that.
These people were passionate but dumb as shit. Because at some point they argue themselves right into conspiracy theories.
So it had to be a hoax.
Well,
right?
yeah. I mean, steel would not melt at that temperature. I mean, take fire to steel and see if it melts. It won't.
Absolutely not. No, you know what? A missile sent by your own government is probably what it was.
There wasn't even a plane.
I'm starting to think there wasn't even towers, dude. I've never been.
Anybody seen the towers?
With your own eyes, not a picture.
Not a picture.
See, it's funny because they're bringing up like the confusion of the theories, where some of them were meant to a psyops, to try to just confuse people about actually what happened. Was it,
right.
was it a missile? Was it a plane?
Have you even seen the buildings? Not pictures, but real. I don't think the buildings were even real.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're playing off like the psyop Minef.
Yep, it's Sunny is such a good show. By the way, that one guy that plays Dennis, he's like us. He brings his own water when he goes on trips. He brings his own food when he goes on trips. I found out his wife, the guy's real wife, is the woman who did that doc. She's like the producer of some of those GMO documentaries. That's how I guess they met at a party or something. But she did a lot of those anti-GMO documentaries.
Yeah, there you go.
They're really. And they give all that fake health advice on the show. Remember when they're always telling each other like, "Well, you smoke some cigarettes; it'll suppress the toxins in your stomach."
Yes. Yes. I can't believe that because it wasn't originally on FX. It was on something else first, and then they switched over to FX.
I think it was on FX, and it switched to FXX.
Okay. Because I was just like, even back in the day, they were getting away with a lot of different things that was funny.
The first episode was about racism, gay black dudes. That was a hilarious episode.
Yeah, because Frank didn't show up until season 2, I think.
No, he didn't. There's such a great line when they're doing the basketball, the community service for basketball, and Max having all those kids drink the Red Bull. The kid's drinking the Red Bull. He's like, "Oh, my stomach hurts." He's like, "That's the vitamins." It's just that the vitamins ripping the bad stuff out of your stomach.
Yeah. Oh, that's It's like you're gonna start to see articles by these internet reporters that heavy metals actually help the function of your brain.
Yep. Yes,
heavy metals gives you cognitive new abilities. The plastic in you is good. It's good for you. It builds your bone strength.
Yeah, remember that old what was that, a CNN clip or MSNBC or something, where they said something to the effect of mercury may help, not harm kids, or they were saying mercury was actually healthy for you.
Yeah, they were talking about. I remember that. That was a while ago.
Have you seen? We could just reminisce about this. If anybody hasn't seen the show, it's so funny. But there's an episode where Dennis buys the boba tea.
Oh my God, yeah, and he goes in to order it, and you got to buy it on the app. They don't take cash. It just makes him go crazy because of the process to order it. Plus, he was like called a liquid sugar heart attack or diabetes drink.
Oh, he said, "Yeah, I'll take the tea without the covert diabetes delivery mechanism, please."
Yes.
Here, I found one.
He didn't want those. He didn't want those sugar lumps put in it with the what they do.
Oh yeah. She said, "Do you want the boba?" He said, "Those little tapioca sugar balls." She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I just want the tea."
Yeah, so you got to pay for it with the app.
Yeah, you got to pay with the app.
You got to download the app.
Here's one piece of sunny health advice. And the reason I'm playing this is because, I mean, this is basically what Mike and I are talking about. This is the American, they're making fun of the American public. Listen to this. This is exactly what we deal with on a daily basis. I think you ate apple skins.
Some apple seeds today.
Yeah.
Make yourself throw up? I tried, but I couldn't. Smoke some cigarettes. The smoke will suffocate the bacteria in your stomach.
That's that's a news article coming out.
Yeah, Marlboro, or what? How do you say it? Marlboro.
Yeah,
RJ Reynolds.
Kill the bad bacteria in your stomach. Start smoking cigarettes.
Okay, so I want to play you one other thing. Okay, have you ever seen the movie Over the Hedge? It's a cartoon.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, Mike. So this is. I'm going to show you the image. I might get in trouble for playing the actual clip. But this is the movie. It's like cartoon animals. It's pretty funny. You might think it's really silly, but I want you to listen to this clip because this is
whatever.
This is what we're talking about. Listen to this.
Stopping by. We're not interested.
Not interested in the most delicious food you've ever tasted?
No.
Come on.
Not interested.
Okay. I get it.
The raccoon's trying to get him hooked on chips.
This is something that you're just not open to.
And then he goes on to explain what's in the chips, Mike.
What is that? That, my friend, is a magical combination of corn flour, dehydrated cheese solids, BHA, BHT, and good old MSG, aka the chips.
Yeah, it's so funny. The FDA wants to ban some natural oils, but they still let MSG in the food.
Yep.
And BHT for the buns. You might, because I was researching this and I was like, man, is even these like better places to eat? Let's say Five Guys, where it's more expensive, it's supposed to be a better quality meal.
Yes.
I looked it up. I wanted to see what was in the buns. They had BHT in the buns,
mm-hmm.
And it's just like you can't eat. You got to make your own, or at least try to limit yourself to these places.
Yes. And another thing is that when you're looking at ingredient lists, most of these companies recently started providing the ingredient lists because of too many people like us complaining about, their products. And most of those ingredient lists, like Panera Bread has what they call the no-no list.
Yeah.
Then we're like, I think it's a giant list. I could pull it up and show you. It's a huge list. It's called the no-no list, PDF Panera. I think I showed it on the Dairy Queen show.
Yeah, probably because they were busted by the moms across America for having just garbage toxins in their foods, including herbicides and pesticides that were beyond what the federal government limits.
Yes, and this list here. So once they give you the ingredient list, once you demand it, I mean, they usually publish this stuff. It's just not really available. You have to dig for it, like the Dairy Queen stuff. So they publish it, and then when people are like, well, what are all these bad ingredients? They're like, well, if you don't like them, we'll get rid of them. Why were they in there in the first place?
I know this is supposed to be Yeah, this is supposed to be a super high-end type of restaurant where you're paying a premium price and you're still getting poison. You're still getting poison there.
Well, you remember who founded Panera Bread? It was also founded by the tribe.
Probably some type of Rosenfeld.
It was founded by largely attributed to Ron Scheich, who is also a part of the tribe.
Ron Shyster.
Exactly.
Hey, one herbal tea, please.
Which flavor?
Flavor, jasmine?
Sorry, I meant for the boba.
The little spheres of tapioca and sugar?
The tea comes with boba.
Well, it doesn't, because I see the tea right there and I see the boba over there. So why don't we just not combine them? Yeah? So I'll take the tea without the covert diabetes delivery mechanism, please.
The system won't let me do that.
You gotta show him getting angry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, fine. One
This
boba,
this
please.
show perfectly epitomizes what this is like a comedy sketch version of the Secret Teachings.
We'll call it a mental health day treat. Self-care, right? Isn't that what people call it whenever they need an excuse to do whatever the fuck they want?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, of course you don't. Of course you don't. One chewy sugar tea, please.
All right, you can scan the code
Why?
because the code takes you to the app.
That's 2 apps today. Yeah. Got apps for everything, even though I'm already talking to the person that could just take my order right here, but I got to download an app, right? How about this? I have cash. You have tea. Why don't we just streamline things?
We don't take cash though.
Yeah. How about cards? Take cards?
Yes,
Oh, great.
but there is a $10 minimum. There's no minimum on the app though.
That beeping is his heart monitor.
Sorry, it's it's not your fault. You didn't create the system. The system is just, it is what it is, and we're both victims here. So
What?
nothing. 2 boba teas, please.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Try
We
to
need
make her feel better. Try to make her feel better as in part of the system. She doesn't know any better, but she didn't even understand where that was, she didn't even understand where that was coming from.
Yep. Well, as some listeners in the chat think it's pretty funny. I hope you've seen Sunny. If you haven't seen Sunny, I don't get money to say that. I think it's a brilliant show. They trash both sides. So good. Mark says, I was hoping for a World War II Japanese surrender show. I usually do like a Hiroshima show, but I didn't do one of those this year because we talked about something else.
What does that mean? What does he mean by that? I don't know what he means by that.
I don't know.
Surrender
Mark's-
show. What do you mean? Like as in what happened after they surrendered, or?
Oh, I'll show you what happens after they surrendered. Is their health started going downhill. That's what happened. They got milk. Yeah, I think Mark's been a long time listener. Mark's a good guy, so I'm assuming he just means the history of it. Okay, so we got a bunch of people in the chat. Ryan Telberg is still here. Mental Health Day treat, love it. D Star says one of the best shows ever, hands down. Yes, Sunny's definitely one of the best shows ever.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about this episode, but we'll take it. We'll take that.
Oh, this too. Maybe he meant the show. This show. This show? Talking about this show? I actually thought that's what he meant too, but I didn't want to be that unhumble. You mean this show, D? D Star? Oh, we mean TST.
If anybody in the chat has suggestions for shows for us to do together, you can put them in. I'm open to suggestions.
Yes, let's do that. Let's have suggestions. As a matter of fact, I think real fast, because we're running out of time, I think I can do, if I get into I have to go to YouTube. If I go into YouTube during the live show, I believe, so I don't get an echo here. If I have to mute, I go into mute this. I think I can do like a moderation, reaction, timestamp. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there's an option for me to do a poll or a Q&A type thing. So maybe next time we could do like a
poll on topics.
Show topics, yeah.
Yeah.
Flux says this show for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope people. I mean, I hope people don't get tired of this this topic. I mean, there's so many other topics we can talk about, but we do love doing the food topic because, you know, a lot of our listeners are already smart. They already know the deal, but just getting that information out there to maybe that someone that doesn't know, or you can share this knowledge for people.
That's true. And that's why we do the show. And this particular episode is free for everybody. You can listen to it over and over again, share it with your friends, family. I mean, we try to inject humor into it. If I don't have humor, I'm going to go crazy reading these ingredient lists. But the point is, look up, see, when they say don't look at a woman's breast, look at her eyes. See what Sydney Sweeney has on her eyes? It says ingredients on our promo picture. So fucking read it.
There you go.
Maybe we should just, I don't know, maybe put like a naked woman next to the ingredient list. Are people going to read it?
I wonder how long it took to get that pose perfect for the picture. Oh, you gotta point that ice cream cone a little to the left. Okay.
I don't really want it this close to my face, though. Yeah, but we're paying you a lot of money.
You're hot. You're new. We want you to promote our ice cream cone.
Yeah, you know what? She also, I don't know if you saw this, Mike. This is an interesting little side note. She is, remember the Vigilant Citizen?
Oh, I loved. Yeah, I used to go to that site all the time.
Yeah, I love the Vigilant Citizen. I still check them out on occasion, and they have a whole write-up about this, which is totally true. Look at this. Normal is offensive. A fat black guy giving birth to a baby with a white liberal woman over it. I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
But then you'll Beyonce. I didn't even know this. Beyonce. I mean, I knew it before I read the Vigilant Citizen article, but Beyonce had done that blonde hair ad. Remember that? She did a jeans ad.
Yeah, I think it was a little lower. You just missed it. I saw.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, I saw the word Beyonce. If you go down,
here, I'll type in Beyonce. Oh yeah, well here she is. So she did it, and she dyed her hair blonde, and she's gotten whiter over the years.
Beyonce good, Sweeney bad. Okay, why?
Yep.
Because Levi's jeans is, of course, the J brand, right? Tri brand.
Probably so. I don't know that for sure. But the Vigilant Citizen points this out, that he kind of making the argument that she's the new Marilyn Monroe. You know, she's this controlled puppet. She's a sex symbol. And this is a photo shoot that she did. It's the same kind of a thing. She's a marionette, you know, the one eye, the three personalities in the dark. This is in 2014. This is the same exact kind of imagery that all of these pop stars and celebrities go through. So you can celebrate and be all excited. Oh, look, Sydney Sweeney's got an ice cream cone. No, she's the same controlled. Oh, she's a Republican too. Oh my God, it's so great.
Yeah.
No, this is Sydney Sweeney.
Did you see how they were trying to make her more right wing? She's at a gun range shooting.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, they have shots of her at a gun range firing guns. To give her
Oh, go ahead.
Again, to give her that more kind of, you know, leverage for super right. Look, oh, she shoots guns too. Oh my gosh, she's the American woman.
What, like that one woman on what's her name? I have it posted on my X page. Who, the one with the quote flat ass shooting guns? Did you see that one running for Congress?
Was that Laura Loomer, or no? I don't know.
No, she eats dog food, not her. Not the dog food woman. I'm going to find it real quick. It's not too far down in my feed here. Nancy Mace, I think, is her name. Yeah, Nancy Mace. Did you see that ad?
No.
It's the same thing with her. It's like Nancy Mace has a gun and blue jeans. She's got blue jeans. Everybody's at blue jeans now, blue jeans. It's brilliant marketing. It's just kind of disgusting. But she's got, she's shooting a gun. It's like, hey, vote for me. I have a gun and blue jeans. Like, no, you should vote for people because of their policies and how well they understand the rule of law, not because of their blue jeans, because of their bodily features, or because of the size of their rifle.
Right.
It's just so stupid.
And even not what they say is what they do, right? They always say one thing and do another.
They're like aliens. Look, I have a rifle. I have blue jeans. I'm just like you. This is like her official promotional page for governor on X.
Yeah, it's like if you can. I wish you can bring it up, but remember the because it's out there. But remember Elizabeth Warren when she did the beer. When she she did the was it a Twitter thing that she put out where she's like, "Hey, we're just like us. We drink beer."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hey, hubby, give me that beer. Oh my God, there it is. That was so cringe. That was just, oh my God. Oh, that was horrible.
And remember,
So
she didn't even take, I think they popped the cap for her. So she doesn't even take the, if I remember that correctly, didn't they like pop the cap? It was already prepped. So she just like basically knocks the cap off. I'm pretty sure they had loosened the cap for her. Someone pointed that out because there's no like sound.
Oh no, I don't remember, but she says, "Hey hubby, I'm gonna go get me a beer.
Get me a beer."
Yeah, because this is how she thinks like the average American talks. I'm gonna go get me a beer.
Imagine being able to.
Oops, hold on, I'm getting rid of this advertisement here. Yeah, I'm gonna play it for you. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a burr.
Yeah, that's how we speak.
Here we go. This is so alien. Look at this.
Oh.
I'm glad for
They probably have like a film crew in here, and they put a filter on this to make like look like TikTok.
It's great to hear from you. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get me a beer.
That's what she does. Oh, look at the husband. Look at this cringe.
Is now in here.
What did you say, Mike? The husband?
Yeah, just watch it when the husband comes in. The cringe.
Maybe I thought it didn't have a sound. Maybe it does have a sound. Maybe she did open it. It's a twist top. Or they added the sound later in post.
Look how she's open. Look how she's opening it too, though. It's like that's weird. That's a weird way to. What the hell? That's a weird way. What?
That's like how a kid holds a spoon who doesn't know.
Yeah, that's not how you open it up.
Here, I'm gonna take a drink of my tea here, Mike. Upside down hand. All right, that's my new theory on this video. I'm pretty sure that it was already open, and then they added the sound in post production.
Maybe.
You sure?
You want a beer, hubby?
Yeah, my husband's here.
Hey, my husband Bruce is now in here. You want a beer?
Well, it's their own house. Oh, look, my husband Bruce is in the house.
You sure? Okay, say hello. So this is my sweetie. Hello. He's the best.
Oh my God. It's so fake. And then you've got Chuck Schumer.
Husband is giving off some Limp Bizkit vibes. Yeah, Limp Bizkit vibes to me.
And then here's Chuck Schumer with a piece of cheese on a raw patty.
Look at, we're just like you. We know your struggles and your pain. We know it takes 2 months to see a healthcare specialist. We know this.
Yeah, we're just like you.
We know that you're paying super high premiums for your insurance. Oh, we get our insurance free. We get our transportation to Congress free. We can get an SUV. We can get a limousine. We don't care how much gas costs. We're just like you. We vote on our own raises every year. How let's vote on a raise. We vote on it, and we get raises.
There's Beto worked on the same thing. He cooks burgers. I don't think it's extremely weird necessarily to put burgers on because I don't eat burgers, so what do I know? But put them on like an English muffin. But he puts like a cheeseburger on an English muffin with like broccoli. And all I can think about when I see this kind of stuff, I think about that line in The Matrix. You know, the machines couldn't figure out what things tasted like, so everything tastes like chicken. Or I think of like Rick and Morty when the simulation's kind of breaking down and the mailman's like, my man, it's fake. They can't fully figure out what human civilization is like, so they kind of mimic it.
Yes.
That's what this is.
Yeah, like they're NPCs.
Seriously. They really are. They really are. They should get the team at Rockstar, though, because apparently the NPCs are going to be super intelligent in the new GTA.
I mean, the Cathars were talking about NPCs thousands of years ago.
The who?
Cathars.
The Cathars.
Yes.
Oh, for some reason, I thought you said Khazars.
No, Cathars.
Cathars. Oh, okay. Yeah,
remember the Pope sent.
They were murdered, right?
Well, yes, 20,000 of them, all women, children, everybody, and that's where the quote came from. They say that kill them all, let God sort them out, because there was Christians actually mixed in with these Cathars. but they were given the command to kill everybody in the village in the town.
Yes.
They talked about people. Not to get into it because that could be a whole show, but the inverse of how this planet is and how the God that you think that you're praying to is actually Satan that runs this planet.
That's right.
But that's we can do a show on that if people are interested.
Apparently, Boomer Sooner in the chat says Tim Walsh did a video, or I'm guessing a video, changing a filter on a truck. I didn't see that. Look, I changed the filter on my pickup truck.
Well, I changed the oil on my truck. See, I'm just like you.
Is it true? Oh, yeah. Well, he's got one. There's a couple of them here. Yeah. Okay, I guess that's a thing. I wasn't doubting you, Boomer Sooner. I was just, I haven't seen that. I was trying to find it online.
It's just like Hillary Clinton on these speeches where she'd add a Southern accent or talking like Ebonics when she was talking to a black audience.
Yep,
It's
the exact same thing.
It's disgusting.
Oh, here's one of the Walls videos.
Election, but it's my pro tip of the day out on the road. I got to show you this. This right here is the headlight harness on a 2014 Ford Edge. Ford, this is unacceptable. It burned out hot on the.
This whole video, he's giving what they call auto tips on how to fix cars.
Yeah,
as part of his campaign. I'm just like you. I fix trucks. I drink beer in the kitchen with my hubby.
Yeah, yeah. You want a beer? It's like that's probably the first time she's ever even asked him. That's why there was a couple seconds there where he didn't like pause the answer. Hubby, you want a beer?
You want a beer? We don't normally drink beer, honey. We're on video. Oh yeah, beer. Sure.
Yeah. She came into power after the 2008 banking mortgage crisis, where people were losing their homes because you're basically got more money than they can afford, right, by the banks.
Yep. Well, they got ripped off by the predatory lenders.
Yeah, she was the ones that were like, I went after the banks. She didn't go after the banks. She did nothing. They're doing, and the banks are doing this again. You're probably going to see another real estate collapse in the coming years. They're doing the same thing again.
Probably members of the tribe, Mike. That's how you consolidate all the wealth.
There's an actually NPC demon right there.
This is one of my favorite Hillary Clinton alien videos.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
The black people are like, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Formation right now.
You got mayonnaise.
Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Yeah, because that is what she's doing. She's definitely pandering to black people.
If you got it, you always carry on. You should have it in your purse right now. Let's see the hot sauce.
Whip it out. Yeah, whip that hot sauce out.
She's fighting for us, though, Ryan. She was fighting for us.
Did she go down to? Yeah, you said she'd go down to the South to do those accents. What was that one she did that really often? She's like, I didn't know my daddy or something like
something so cringe and just horrible. These people,
so gross.
These politicians that supposedly get voted in by the people are just so disgusting. Again, do they even really get voted in? Or do they
listen, when you're right. And when this is what you would look at the screen right now, when this is what you grow up eating, and you grow up watching TikTok and Instagram, and you grow up with parents that have been subject to their own version of these things, including these kinds of lunches, is it really any surprise that the United States is the fattest, sickest, most unhealthiest, does the most drugs, has the most diseases of any country on the planet, especially for an industrial country? Is it really a surprise when our leading politicians are like, I'm going to get a beer and fix a truck because I am like you? It's not really a surprise people believe that, because this is what you're eating for lunch and calling it food.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have top that off with poor parenting, right? Or even like an abusive environment for the child, or just straight up poor parenting too, where you don't teach the child any type of values and morals, or even how to do basic things like fold a bag or make your or how to make your bed, or how to navigate to get a better interest rate on your credit card, things like that you should be showing your children. a lot of these parents just don't do, and they just say, "Hey, well, here's your school lunch, slop. Enjoy it."
I wanted to show you something, Mike, before I'll let you go because we're way over. I can't believe we went 14 minutes over. So I'm guessing you're having fun.
Yeah, I am having. I'm standing and sitting. I'm having. Yes.
Hey, by the way, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue with you about it like you did at that radio station, but Howard Stern's show is going to be canceled. Did you hear about that?
It's about time. I don't like that guy. I don't like the, back in the day when I was a teenager, I thought some of the skits were funny just because I was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
And you're a little bit dumber then. But I've seen what he's done to guests and what he's done to the people that he called freaks, his freak cast. I think most of them are dead. How he used them to mock them, make fun of them to get higher ratings.
You mean like Sacha Baron Cohen mocks people and
yes,
like that?
And how he one of the main things for him was there was an old show in the 80s called Different Strokes, and it was like some rich white guy that adopted like black kids, but there was a girl on there that was her daughter. I think her name was Natalie. I don't forget her name, but she was on Howard Stern. She was going through some tough times of like, I think she had to pose for Playboy or something to make money, all sorts of stuff. And she went to Howard Stern and he just like berated her. And the next day after the show, she committed suicide.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's just disgusting.
He is totally disgusting.
Everything is fine. The chat says he's a demon. His whole career is being cruel to his guests.
Yes. Yes.
He's a piece of garbage.
It's so sad. I used to think those shows were funny as a teenager. But again, you grow up and you learn, You
learn about the tribe and then you're like, oh wow, this is
funny. Same thing with Curb Your Enthusiasm. I thought as a teenager those shows they're funny too, but then there's elements in there that once you kind of see behind the veil, I didn't like. And I didn't think were funny.
Agreed. Same thing with Seinfeld too.
Yes. Oh, there it is. That Dana Plato. Yeah, in the chat. That's
Edward
her.
Preston.
Yeah, that poor woman. That's very sad. I think she mentioned that he was bringing up that she only had like $1,000 in her checking account and made her feel like shit. And
so basically some tribe member berating a goy until they kill themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember that guy after 9/11 was, my God, he was pushing for the war.
Of course. Yeah.
And pushing to kill, and to go into Iraq, and was pushing this whole Saddam Hussein's got weapons of mass destruction. We should go in there and get rid of them. He was pushing all that propaganda back then.
Who in the media wasn't pushing all that propaganda? It's like,
no, I know.
A paycheck, yeah.
There was, every New York Times article back then in the Wall Street Journal was like, we got to go into Iraq. Saddam Hussein must be killed. Yeah, you killed him, but how many women and children did you also kill? Because you bombed Baghdad to hell. You killed millions of civilians. I mean, it's disgusting, dude.
And
that's why Trump got the backlash for even bombing a so unquote nuclear facility in Iran, because people are like, no, we don't want this.
Which is, by the way, why the Times of Israel, there was an article write up about how that's the reason, because we didn't go full regime change. That's the reason why the Epstein story began to involve Trump in the Jewish media. Did you read that article?
I didn't see that, but it's plausible. It's plausible. It makes sense. Oh
yeah, if you type in Times of Israel, Epstein, Trump, even type in maybe punishment, and the article's like, well, this is yeah, here it is. I found it. And this relates to the food too, I think. It's written by Yosef Janowski for the Times of Israel. And it in essence, it says that because Trump has questioned Israel, he said perhaps Trump will realize that it really doesn't pay to start up with Israel. He's being punished with the Epstein files. So they're just openly threatening the president of the United States in the Times of Israel.
That's
okay.
Crazy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Send your troops into Iran.
I noticed something.
We'll also do a false flag and help you blow up a building and blame it on Iranian terrorists. Iranian terrorist blows up a city block with a yellow cake nuclear device for retribution on Trump's bombing. They did it, so now you gotta go in.
No choice now. I mean, hey, look, yellow cake's delicious. Americans love yellow cake. What are you talking about? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I wanted to show you this as well in relation to what we were talking about. So here's that Japanese school lunch, and it's the same in South Korea. South Korea and Japan, I think, are considered some of the most healthiest school lunches in the world. I've read. I don't know if that's. I don't know about Russia or other countries. I just know because I've read about this. But I looked up IQ numbers. You know how Americans and Israelis always tell you how smart they are? Do you see America or Israel in this list at the top? No, you see China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, South Korea, Japan, Iran, Singapore, Russia, Mongolia, Armenia, Australia, Spain, New Zealand, and the list goes on. And then somewhere down here, if you keep scrolling and don't get carpal tunnel, you find the US. And then if you keep scrolling, you'll find Israel down here too. Not the greatest IQs.
I bet you honestly we're lower on the list than what that says.
I absolutely, I would agree with that. I mean, hell, if you look at this statistic about reading, it's like 40% Americans 6th grade level. It's a crazy number, Mike.
Yeah, they can't, kids can't read, but they can do the latest TikTok dance.
Yep. No, exactly. Exactly.
The TikTok in China is totally different than the TikTok in the United States. The TikTok in China is all educational videos.
Yep.
There's nothing like the slop that we have on our TikTok where it shows airport fights and the new dance craze or some kind of trend for some chicks to show their hooch. And it's just ours is just totally it's GoSlop. It's GoSlop.
Yes, it is. Okay, so I just pulled this up. I'm going to show this to you. And I'm also pulling up something on my X. I took it off the screen just for a moment. Where's it at? It's close. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, so look at this. This is mainstream. This is not a debatable thing. It's well recognized. So there's different reference sources here. The APM Research Lab, I think it's the Department of Education, U.S. too, the National Literacy Institute. Look at what this says. Look, this is scary. Can you read that?
Yes.
See it? Would you read that for us, please?
Oh, yes. About 54% of American adults read below the equivalent of the 6th grade level, indicating a significant literacy challenge in the U.S. The low literacy rate can lead to various social and economic issues. Really? When you can't read? I would say so.
So that probably is Oregon cuts math and reading requirements. You read about that?
Yes, that happened I think a year ago. Or 2 years ago. Yeah.
Don't need to master reading.
No, you don't. We'll give you a degree. You don't have to learn. You don't have to be able to read if we give you the degree.
Yep. And so this is what I saw. These videos of all these girls dancing at the colleges. See, people are like, what's the big deal? Well, what the big deal is, you couldn't dance in a dress. You got to dance like a stripper, like a whore, like you're in a porn video. And the thing is, the people that are responsible for creating this mess of drugs and slop and crime and murder and death and disease are the same people responsible for creating these dumb, fake blonde whores at all these universities. And so, like you were saying, you can do a fucking TikTok dance, but you can't read Captain Underpants, which I'm pretty sure is like a 6th grade book.
Yeah. All the celebrities, the dresses that they buy and what they do and their lifestyle, but you can't read a book. You don't even know how to shop for a low interest rate credit card. You're just terrible.
Unbelievable. But no, this means America's back, Mike. They said America's back because a bunch of whores are dancing in front of a sorority where they fuck their way through the football team.
Well, this is again the division, because now if you look at that, right, it's white women.
Yep, mostly white, fake blonde, tan.
So then you have hey, look, what we've been suppressed with this wokeness. Now we're coming back strong with the white fraternities again. It's all division and propaganda, and just a mind fuck, a psyop.
Yes, it is. Corey McDonald in the chat summed it up. Can you read that?
Division. It's division because now you can have black people that say, "Oh, look at this. This is all white. There's no black people. This is racist." You know, it just builds the divide up.
Yes, it does. That's why I said the same people were responsible for both of those images. McDonald says that's the tribe. Also here, Cynthia Stockstill says what they're feeding my friend in the hospital is beyond unhealthy.
Oh, I was in the hospital a few months ago. Yeah, what they gave me was, again, like, here you go. It's like you know, chocolate cake as dessert, and like, wow, it's the same kind of crap.
Chocolate cake, not yellow cake.
Chocolate cake as when I was in the hospital for like a dessert. But yet they didn't. But yet on the second day, I had to ask for a toothbrush. I was like, "Can I get a toothbrush, please?"
We don't got those fancy toothbrush.
Because I was, because I was bedridden, dude. So I was in the hospital, and I was like, the second day, I was like, you know, I really want to brush my teeth here because I can do it. My arms work. I was like, "Can I get a toothbrush?" And like, "Oh yeah, sure." I was like, "How come they didn't offer me a toothbrush before?" But yet they gave me chocolate cake.
Well, you know, it's the same reason why Scientific American said, hey, breastfeeding really isn't a big issue. You don't need to breastfeed. And hey, Mike, you don't really need to brush your teeth. That's probably racist, actually, to brush your teeth.
Yeah, you figured the hospital would have, like, you know, would understand the correlation of dental health to your overall health.
I went to well, I've been to a couple of them now. I went to just like a standard, well, I wouldn't say standard, but it was like went to an onsen, like the hot springs. I've been to two of them. One was really fancy. One was just pretty standard, and just free toothbrushes, as many toothbrushes as you wanted to take. I swear to God, Mike, these toothbrushes from the Japanese onsen were better quality than any toothbrush that I ever paid for in the United States. And I used to buy the specialty thin bristles at like Natural Grocers.
Yes.
$4 or $5. The hotels over here have better toothbrushes than high-end toothbrushes in the United States. It's shocking.
It's crazy.
It's shocking. Well, you talking about guitars too, right?
Yeah, I was talking about guitars. There's a market for Japanese guitars because the guitar market in the U.S., the quality has gone down so bad that even a guitar, let's say that's $5,000, is definitely not worth the $5,000. But you can get a Japanese issue maybe from 5 years, 6 years back for $2,000, and it's higher quality because a lot of the guitars coming from Japan, starting in the 90s and the 2000s, were high quality guitar. How they were manufactured, because the manufacturing facility was in Japan, so that's where the guitars were made. And there was a perfection to detail of the guitar. So now you have a market where you have this American guitar guy. They go over to Japan and they buy a bunch of Japan guitars, and then they come back and they sell them in the U.S. and make money, because they can still make money off of buying it in Japan and selling it in the U.S.
That's crazy.
Much higher now than what you would get even for, let's say, a custom shop made in the U.S. guitar. You can get the same quality or better by buying a made in Japan.
You know what's really interesting, Mike? I'm going to ask you this question. You'll see this in my new book. I have a chapter on this. You know how nobody points out, we talked about Panera Bread, Baskin Robbins, the tribe is in charge of all of this. But if you were to look at electronics, cars, guitars, musical instruments, pop culture, how much of that is inspired or directly a result of like Japanese culture? Like every car, motorcycle, off-road vehicle, I mean, you name it. There's a long, long list. Does anybody ever accuse the Japanese of controlling the world? No. So what's the difference between Toyota and all of the other Japanese car products, all the culture of Bushido, samurai, ninja, you name it, and not just in Japan, but just Eastern culture, all those things. Nobody accuses these people of controlling the world, because what they export is quality. What they export is like a culture of, for the most part, like decency, and they're known for respect. It doesn't mean that that's what you always get here, but like that's what they're known for. So I think that people don't care if every car, every video game, everything in pop culture is Japanese, because it doesn't undermine the moral fabric of society. But Baskin Robbins does. And so does Dunkin Donuts. And so does all the other things the tribe touches. You ever thought about that? Like so much, like everything I did as a kid was Japanese. I had no idea.
Yeah, because what you're paying, there is a certain amount of respect for the consumer. And so they want to make the most high quality product while charging you a fair price for it. If you look, this is a gnarly sheen. There's a guy, it's a great YouTube channel. It's called Flash Flood of Gear. He's got a bunch of different makes of guitars. He actually has a couple videos where he shows you the makes of Japanese guitars. You can check out his YouTube video. It's called A Flash Flood of Gear, and he'll show you Japanese models. That's the guy I'm talking about. He's actually based in Florida. But like I was saying, like there is a expectation of what we're going to sell you is going to be the most highest quality. If you're looking on the other side of what the controllers of the world, there's an expectation of we're gonna rip you off the hardest we can rip you off. We're gonna sell you the least quality, and at the same time, we're gonna poison you so you get sucked into our system of healthcare, of doctors, of cancer treatment, of chemo, all controlled pharmaceuticals, all controlled by the same group of people. The Japanese don't own Pfizer.
That's right. It isn't run by, the CEO and the chief scientist. Pfizer and Moderna, 3 of 4 are members of the tribe. They also don't run the CDC. They don't run. Go ahead, Mike. They don't run the media.
They don't run the media. If you see some of these memes of CNN where it's got like it puts the Star of David on the reporters and the people involved, that the whole network is run by the tribe. It's just, it's got to be talked about and it's got to be discussed.
Have you ever seen I don't know if I played it for you before, but there's Japanese news broadcasts over here where they talk about how Israel controls the United States. You ever seen those?
I've actually seen videos where the Japanese, there's videos of how the tribe runs the U.S.
Yep.
It gets pretty in depth too with the whole monetary system also.
Yeah, because everybody knows it. And you might think we're getting away from the subject of Baskin Robbins, but we're not, because those people created Baskin Robbins and Dunkin Donuts and Haagen-Dazs and so on and so forth. It's the same types of philosophies that are behind the food. Poison you, rip you off. And then it's like, go ahead.
Yeah, make you sick.
Funny thing is, this is a great example of what we're talking about. I think a Japanese woman just won. Let me see if I can find this. So, you're Italian, gelato, right?
Yes. I don't eat it, but yeah, I know it.
I think that so this woman, I think it was a woman. Let me see if I can find it. Japanese woman wins. Where's it at? I think some first Japanese hailing from, there's a Japanese person, a woman, man, I forget what the story is. My goodness, where is the story? Anyway, they went to Italy, I think, and they opened up a gelato place and they won awards. A foreigner came to Italy, opened up a gelato place and won awards because their gelato, based on the Japanese, model of, I guess, Kaizen, was even better than the local domestic stuff. And that's what we're talking about. They tried to make it better, not undermining and undercutting and charging you extra for poison.
Exactly. There's a huge difference.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said you're right. There's a huge difference.
I think this is the guy, Takada Satoshi. He's won 2 different international gelato competitions. And they say he wowed judges in Italy. There you have it. So that's the difference. See, this guy made a better gelato. When the guy that did Haagen-Dazs, the guy that founded Haagen-Dazs, he used a fake name to give the impression that his product wasn't Jewish. And then he used cheap bullshit ingredients and charged excessive prices. I think it was like 10 times the price, kind of like hot dogs that were sold on Coney Island, in order to make a profit off of the perception that the product was high quality when it wasn't. And
Yeah.
that's the difference. Nobody cares if this guy, if Satoshi-san is making gelato. He made a better gelato. That's what matters. But people do care when they learn out that Haagen-Dazs is a bullshit company.
Yes, yes.
Oh, this
and
is gross.
Not to get off the point again, but did you see recently there was a video of Christians going through Israel, and they were getting spat on. And
Oh, yeah.
this was like a few days ago, and heckled and threatened.
Yep.
I mean, how is that for a religion to say they're the chosen people, but another a group of Christians can't go through the streets and just show their religion?
It's considered, by the way, the guy's name was Reuben Mattis. No, because Christians are considered I guess an abomination. They're considered blasphemers in Israel, which to some degree I can understand. Actually, as a matter of fact, I can kind of understand that, but that's not really the point. The point is you're totally right. In fact, I just pulled this up in my new book. This is the story of Haagen-Dazs in the book here. And speaking of spitting on Christians, I have that article here in the book, actually. Here it is. Israeli settler, far-right activist, spitting on Christians is a Jewish custom. Here's another one. Radical Jewish groups, head advocates burning churches. Here's another one. Middle East Eye, spitting on Christians in Jerusalem is not criminal, says Ben Gvir. Here's another one. Times of Israel, spitting on Christians, extracting the DNA of hatred. Figuring out why I think this guy, to be fair, Gotenstein, he said that it was wrong and that you shouldn't do it. So there's a couple of people over in Israel that think it's wrong. But no, you're right. They spit on them. They burn churches. They attack churches. They attack Christians. Hell, this here in my book is a letter that Mike Huckabee just wrote condemning the fact that Israel isn't giving out visas to people who are Christian. They're cutting off the visa programs. They don't want more Christians coming. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole book.
Oh, yeah.
You can get soon. Mike, please do a proofread of that for me when you get a chance. Sitting, standing, laying down, however you want to do it.
I will.
I would really appreciate that. Do you have any? We went way over. I so appreciate that you stayed longer and that we had a good conversation. I think it all links back. It all connects back to Baskin Robbins, Baskin and Poison. Do you have any final comments, thoughts, theories, opinions?
No, that basically, again, it was a good show, and we basically showed that, they're pushing this garbage however they can, whether it's the left side or the right side, or trying to get you to say this, it's all American. It's until you actually read the ingredients, you should really think twice about eating any of this crap.
Yes. Did you see this on the screen? I forgot to show this to you. I'm not going to say anything. It's real too.
Oh my God.
It's Randy Fine, who has had a lot of ice cream in his life and a lot of fast food. Randy Fine.
He's excited to wear it. He's excited to wear it.
Kippa America great. It's Kippa. That's great. Slob Randy Fine. Just a piece of subhuman garbage. All right.
Anyway, yes.
All that on the screen.
So yes, we'll do another show again if maybe next week come up with a poll and then we can do a show that people want to.
I've got it. I know what we can talk about. Do you want to talk about the UFO whistleblower con men?
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that for sure. There's many pictures we can show of
yes.
Dr. Greer's experiences.
Don't tell me you're going to tell me those alien pictures were fake.
I'm not. We'll just let the audience judge on it when we talk about it. I mean, but he's a doctor, and he's been shouting this stuff for what 30 plus years. But still, the truth is still out there. The truth is still out there. Yeah, it's still X-Files. Truth
and by
is
out
out
there, it's definitely not in a Stephen Greer documentary.
No.
I'll tell you that for sure. Okay, so Mike, I think in relation to health, one piece of advice, and as a tip for our next, like a little hint at our next show, I have for you here a great screenshot from one of David Wilcock's recent videos. Are you ready to see this?
Oh, jeez, yes.
All right, here we go. This is real too. I'm not making this up.
Still real to me.
Still real to me, damn it. This is a recent Wilcock video, and this is what he says. He had a prophetic. He says he's dreaming about diarrhea, and here's his one of his prophetic dreams. He said that recently came true. He said after investigating and researching about treatments and being purified, health. He said, they're looking for these are the angels or the Ra or whatever part of himself he's talking to. Treatment that would be done on me in order to purify me. So he needs to purify himself, right? After investigating and researching this for a long time, I realized they were going to consolidate all the minerals in my body. And would you be kind enough to read that last line? What are they going to do with all those minerals in his body?
And remove them all at once through my rectum.
Yep, David Wilcock said he's going to have all the minerals in his body ripped out of his asshole. So I don't recommend that, or laying in bathtubs full of piss.
I wish you could have asked him that when he showed up at the conference.
How's that rectal mineral cleanse?
Yeah, how's your is your rectal healed since 1999? That guy's such a con artist, psyop agent, living in a multi-million-dollar cabin with 2-3 garages.
He's spinning a lot of plates to get that cap. Well, there's a lot of bad stuff happening for Wilcock right now. I don't know if you know anything about it, but there's a lot of bad stuff going down.
It's probably because he doesn't really post anymore on YouTube.
Some stuff, it just sort of...
supposedly on his website, he does some podcasts that he does on Sundays, but I've never watched that.
I didn't know that he had a podcast on Sundays. I wasn't aware of that. Here's some stuff. We had John Christian Spadavecchia on the show recently, and he's been sharing all this stuff. IRS, 18 months, David Wilcock has been talking to the public that he's in this tax debt because he decided to take money that he owed to tax authorities and invested in Stavati Aerospace so he could bring humanity free energy. Turns out he's been lying about paying the IRS too, because he said it's recent that he took all this money and invested it, and that's why he doesn't have it that's what he's telling the IRS, by the way. I invested the money into aerospace research so that I could bring free energy to humanity. And the IRS said, you still owe us $1 million. And then it turns out John Christian Spadavecchia found that David Wilcock owes taxes going back to 2012, which was before he ever invested in Stavati. So he's been lying about that too. And this is one of the copies from the tax lien.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, the taxes in the government, they will get you. Doesn't matter who you are.
But he's bringing free energy to the world. And then Spadavecchia also found this. This is so funny. Stavati Aerospace is $3 million in debt, but he claims they're going to get hundreds of billions of dollars in contracts to build new ships, or I don't know what they are, ships or planes or something.
No, yeah. And when he was talking about that airplane, they were talking about how they can put missiles on it and kill people. I thought this guy was like supposed to be like spiritual guru, and he's shelling this airplane where they're going to put missiles on it and kill people.
No, you're totally right. Yeah, that Razor plane that they have. They're talking about he went from being a spiritual guru who does crystal bowls with his hippie wife to, after she left him for investing all of his money in Stavati, now he's selling arms to the military.
Yeah, or at least trying to. Yeah. It's like, because I saw the comments on because he's got the video on his YouTube of him talking to, I guess, one of his engineers. And they're talking about, how the place putting how many missiles it's holding. And the comments are like, David, I thought you were better than this. Your aircraft is a war machine. There's nothing spiritual about it. The comments are hilarious.
Yeah, that's Bezkarv. That's the CEO, quote unquote CEO of Stavati. That's who he was talking to. That's the guy he gave all this money.
The guy with the ponytail?
Yep. Yeah. That's the guy. And it turns out that they've never actually, the only thing they've ever made is they've used their warehouse for people to dump literal garbage, and I think they did like sewage disposal or something. So literally, the Stavati Aerospace facility, not only are they not making planes, it's cleared out of anything that would be used for aerospace development, and it's literally, not a joke, it's literally filled with garbage, like trash, and reportedly raw sewage. That's the only money they've ever made, is by allowing people to still leave garbage in their hangar. It's unbelievable. But then again, people eat these school lunches and they believe Wilcox. It's got to be a connection.
Yeah. I mean, if you believe anything David Wilcox says in 2025, there is something wrong with you.
Yes, there is. Hey, look, some people like the show, Mike. Some people like the show.
All right.
Love, light, and death and destruction.
Love, light, and death and destruction. Exactly.
Now, see what they're gonna fight the deep state with those laser.
We're gonna put St. Michael's picture on these planes when we drop the bombs.
Yes, Michael the Archangel. Yeah, Michael the Archangel told me to build weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. He is God's warrior, so he has to destroy.
Yep. That's true. He kills Satan. So Wilcox he's fulfilling that prophecy. Unbelievable. Joe Roop is in the chat. Joe Roop said a little bit ago here, he said, maybe you should do a segment. What will Wilcox say next? That should be a segment every week. He said, every time this guy does something stupid, he finds a way to top it.
It's unbelievable. If you look at his videos from like a year ago, though, I think the last one was like a year ago, he's using like English accents when he's talking about his cabin and making chicken wings. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre.
You know what is I learned this. I watched some of those videos too. He has a rat infestation problem, or like a mouse infestation problem at his house. Do you know that, or did you hear about that? And why?
No.
And why? He has an infestation problem because he admits that his house is filthy. He said, I don't have time to clean it. It's so dirty and gross. I'm dealing with mice. I'm dealing with rats. Yeah, his house is just riddled with filth and rodents, apparently. Very spiritual.
I like in the video, like he puts like his guitar in the background to show like, hey, look at me. I can play the guitar. I'm a musician. But I bet you if he actually picked it up, he couldn't even strum an A chord.
You mean like Jimmy Church when he had like 15 guitars behind him doing a Fade to Black or Fade to Midnight or whatever it was?
Yeah.
You said that about him 10 years ago.
He was, a roadie for Motley Crue. It was
down there on the Sunset Strip, right?
Yeah, maybe we can do with this show. We can do also include where these shysters are right now.
Where are they today? Like when
Yes.
you're on 600-pound life and you lose 300 pounds, and then where are they today?
Yeah, so I want to do like him. What's the other one? Elizabeth, or what's the Eisenhower?
Oh God, Laura Eisenhower.
Yeah, I want to do her. I want to do
Laura Bradshaw. I mean, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, I want to do Wilcock. I want to do George Snorri. See if he's still pushing the same bullshit shows.
You mean like vaccines?
Yeah. God, I wanted to call that show so badly when that guy dismissed the guy for not wanting to wear a mask or getting a vaccine. He totally cut the guy off. It was a guest that he had on the show. And they was talking about the COVID situation. And the guy said, you know what? There's no need for a mask and you shouldn't get vaccinated. And then right after he said that, Snorri said, well, we're out of time right now, so we got to go. Take care, and just hung up on the guy. And I was like, you piece of crap.
We can't potentially offend people and step out of line. Remember, I don't know if you were there when this happened, but remember when Jim Mars was on one of the shows with us, and I think he told us this on air. He said when he was on Coast to Coast, they used to he had to go to a hotel or something to get the clean phone line, and he'd have like an earpiece or something, or like a separate line where they would tell him what he couldn't say as he was talking. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's so ugly. So ugly.
I think, what did he say? I think it was about Bush. He called them carpetbaggers, fake, blue
Yeah,
bloods that
fake,
came
fake,
down.
fake Texans.
Yep, and they had someone in his ear, Mr. Mars, you can't say that, Mr. Mars. Don't mention the Bushes, Mr. Mars. You can't say that.
Yeah, George Snort. And then the kind of like, I'm not, we had our differences with Art Bell, but I liked a lot of Art's old programs, honestly, as a kid. But the way that he kind of screwed over Art Bell to take over Coast to Coast 2 was very bad. And Art even talked about it when he came back, kind of mentioned it a little bit. And there was definitely some animosity between the two because Snorri basically stole the job from him.
It's so disgusting. The radio. That's the thing too about whether we're talking on food, occultism, UFOs. Doesn't really matter. All of those fields are so corrupted. Like the UFO field is totally corrupted. The nutrition health field is filled with influencers paid by industries and corporations. Like nothing is real. It's almost all fake. Almost all of it's fake. I remember when I went to a gym in Boise, Idaho, and I got a gym membership for the first time. And I remember the person telling they sat down and had a nutritional consultation, and I thought I should be consulting you. And this woman said something about diets, and she's like, "So you don't eat meat?" And I said, "Nope." And she said, "That's not really good for you, right?" And I said, "I don't really want to get into this with you." She's like, "Well, where's your sources of information that suggest that that's bad?" And I said, "Well, you could read the China study." She said, "That study's been debunked." And I said, "Well, that's funny because number one, it's not ACE. That's just the name of the book. The China study looked at thousands of individual studies in rural China. It's completely unrelated to a singular study." And she said, "That's been debunked." And I said, "Really? Who debunked it?" So she sent me an article later. I gave her an email. You know who debunked it? A representative of the fucking Coca-Cola Corporation.
There you go.
That's who debunked it. And I told that to her. She said, "Well, I don't really think it matters that they work for Coke." You don't think it matters that they work for Coke?
Yeah, you don't think it matters that they flip flop on these board of directors of these corporations where they go from the FDA to the chemical company that they pushed and allowed the chemicals in their food through having a position on the board of the FDA? You're fucking retarded.
Come on.
These people would rather have a house with 7 bathrooms than to help people and to cure people. They would rather have 15 cars. It's funny because, when you kick the bucket, you can't take any of that with you. And when you're lying on your deathbed and you're trying to cling on to your nice gold chains that you have on your neck, you got to wonder what's in it for me in the afterlife, right?
Nothing. That's why they want to live forever.
You got to weigh up. Does your heart weigh more than the feather?
No. And considering all the fast food people eat, it's definitely a weight problem.
Anyway, man, I got to go, but it was a great show. Happy to be here, and we'll try to do this, I guess, maybe before 3 weeks or maybe 2 weeks. It goes so fast.
You let me know when you want to talk about David Wilcock's mineral cleanse, and I'm here for it every day, any day you want to do it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to share and talk about Dr. Stephen Greer's alien encounter pictures. Because the audience, you guys will laugh. You will laugh when we go through this. You really have a good time. So be on the lookout for that show.
They are so ridiculously fake. I don't even know if to call them fake. It looks like if you just took a picture and you just moved the camera real quick while you were taking the picture and made it look like, there's streaks of light or something.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's pixelated. It's distorted. It's scaled. It's everything that you can do with Photoshop to make it.
Yeah, you ever accidentally taken a picture? Just like, putting your phone away? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Mike. I'm so sorry. Look what I just found. I found oh my goodness. I was trying to find something about our old radio station, and look what I just found. You're going to like, I never showed this to you. This is the remnants of my press pass that Jimmy Church's goon ripped up in his mouth. That's what was left of it.
I was told I was low vibration, bringing negative energy to the event. That is hilarious. What year is that?
That was 2 years ago, November 2023.
God, I thought it was longer than that, but I guess again, time is just. Yeah, I thought I could have sworn it was longer than that, but that's crazy.
Yep. The guy took it in his mouth and ripped it off and said I was being low vibration. I said, I think that's pretty low vibration to rip my press pass off me.
Yeah, you told me the whole story. He was kind of like he was in your face, and
he said,
yeah,
he said you were harassing. I got the whole thing on audio clip of it, 50 something minutes. But yeah, he said, you were harassing Mr. Church or something. And he said, we don't allow that here. We want good vibes and energy. And he rips it off, and it's made of plastic, so you can't really tear it like a piece of paper. So he puts it in his mouth and chews on it like a fucking animal.
it's funny. It's like inverted. You were actually bringing high vibration and the truth to it. Then they say you're low vibration and negative energy.
That's so true.
You're trying to save people from not spending money on bullshit, and then but you're low vibration.
Yep. So there it is. I wanted to show that to you last time, but I couldn't find it. But I found it this time. There it is.
That's hilarious. Get out of here, low vibration.
I'm just Edia. I lost the
How dare you talk about Jimmy Church's bacon Starbucks frappuccinos that he loves to drink. Jim Mars was, I saw that quote. Jim Mars was a great man.
Yes, Jim Mars was. They didn't like him either. I got behind the scenes. The people at these conferences did not like him either. A lot of them because he was real.
Oh yeah, cited everything. In the back of his books, he's got like 16 pages of citations of where he was getting his info.
So they don't like him.
Did Wilcock ever do that? No, just make up things and said he went into the inner earth and talked to T'Challa, the inner earth god.
Oh, what was her name? Her name was, what was that goddess he talked to? Kari?
Kari, yeah, the inner earth.
It sounds like an Asian version of Kali, but they can't say Kali. So Kari. Yeah, that was his inner.
Or Jimmy Church was going to put on scuba gear and go to that Malibu underwater alien base.
Yes, the Malibu base. Remember that was the reason that I got in trouble with on Dark Matter originally, because I had said to Jimmy that I think that's fake. I think your story's fake because you didn't have that story until you signed a deal with Coast to Coast, and then suddenly you've got a big UFO story that's on the front page of their website. Sounds like PR to me. It sounds like Coast to Coast told you, okay, we've got this story, and it's gonna be the first thing that you cover, and it's gonna be all you, and it's in your backyard, and you found it, and it's Jimmy's Malibu UFO base, and people are still citing that stuff today. Someone just said it to me at a conference 2 years ago. I think it was at the Vegas conference. You seen the Malibu base, man? The one that Jimmy Church made up? Yeah, I've seen it. It's fake. It's totally fake.
Yeah, he's got one picture that is what it just shows like a enclave and like a cave. A big deal.
Yeah,
you don't have any other proof to say that's an alien base other than, it's just these people like we proved, right? They were all working together. All of them.
Yes, in some capacity, if not directly, in some capacity. Blair M says, I'm the guy that punched Jimmy Fake Guitar Church. Did someone punch him? I don't know about this. Did someone punch him, Mike?
I don't know, but that would be great if you did.
They're a listener of the show.
You knocked the black hair dye grease right off of his head.
Jimmy is very narcissistic. Yep.
Oh, God, yes. And a cokehead.
Why do you even care if the stories are fake?
Allegedly, I'll say allegedly so I don't get this. Allegedly a cokehead.
Hey, listen, I saw that shit at that after party I went to. Someone was in there with an iPad filming. This was really before this was like 2017, 2016. And I went to that they rented this big house out in Palm Springs, and I went to that event, and someone was filming, and Jimmy breaks out the drugs. Put that camera away. Don't film this. That's real. That's not fake. It's not fake.
There you go.
What a piece of trash.
Yeah, I don't know who you are. Yeah, you know exactly who he was, and he was on your show. You're a complete liar. Like, why are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? Because I'm trying to get the truth, asshole. That's what this is. The whole movement is supposed to be about truth.
Yep. Blair says, I did in Roswell. Did you get arrested for that? What happened? Is there a video? Is there a news report? Is there a post? Is there something? I didn't know that. This person punched Jimmy Church. Why did you punch him? Did he try to rip your press pass off too? Let's see what Joe Ryder says. Is there a video of it? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know that story.
Did you punch him in the face or in the fat gut?
It's hard to probably miss that fat gut.
You punched him in the gut and he spit up a donut.
Bacon coffee from Starbucks, Mike.
But it was the keep with the show. It was a spooky Halloween donut.
Yeah, it was a pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice.
You know, we did a little research on him where he was kind of doing sports. He had a sports show, and then transitioned into the quote unquote paranormal.
Wasn't he NASCAR?
I don't know if he was NASCAR, but he was like sports. He might have been NASCAR, but I thought he was like a sports in general kind of show. And then that wasn't paying the bills, so he switched over to his paranormal.
Oh, Blair says this is what Blair says. He's a sex predator. He tried to make a move on a friend of mine.
Oh, wow. We got the news here.
If you can get me, is there a police report? Are there eyewitnesses? If you can get me some sort of evidence or proof, I'll have you on the show to talk about it, because that sounds juicy.
He seems like he would be. So, you know, in life, you're going to come in any profession that you have or any type of social situation you're in. You're going to meet a psychopath. You're going to meet a sociopath. You're going to meet a narcissist, and some of them are going to try to befriend you, right?
Yep.
Especially the sociopath and the narcissist, to try to gain control over you, right? And they're looking for people with, like, you know, that are nice but have weaker energies that they can use and then control. You're going to get these people in every aspect of your life.
People that are psychos tend to rise to the top too.
Yeah, and you got to figure out ways in your own personal life to deal with these narcissists and these psychopaths and these sociopaths.
You know, I don't know for sure. I'm going to make an observation, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right or what your opinion is. And listeners can, more so for listeners to tell me their opinion. But I want to make an observation. I have never invested money in advertising for this show. I've just done it consistently for 15 years before this kind of thing was even popular outside of like an Art Bell Coast to Coast. And or Clyde Lewis too. He's done it for 30 years, or Alex Jones for 30 years. So I think I was like second wave of this. And I've never put any money into this at all. I used to print on a piece of computer paper business cards and cut them by hand. I've never spent any money at all on any of this stuff. And yet my show is a extremely recognizable show. And I'm thinking it's because over the years, Jimmy Church has come and gone. David Wilcock has essentially come and gone. Corey Good has come and gone. The Laura Eisenhowers have come and gone. These frauds that get all the money, all the attention, all the sponsorship, they come, they're proven wrong, they lie, they cheat, they steal, and then they disappear. And shows like this are still here doing the same thing and saying the same thing we were doing and saying 15 years ago. I think that's why so many people listen to us, and I really appreciate all the listeners. I mean, I can't believe how many people listen to this show around the world. It's crazy. I think that's the reason why, though. We've been consistent, and it's a little frustrating to watch these people come, make money, leave, lie, cheat, steal, etc. But we've been here doing the same thing for 15 years.
Yeah, definitely paid some dues for sure. I think I printed you off some business cards on that second run too. I had like a friend, and I got business cards. We made some business cards.
Oh, you
for
did?
Yeah.
You did do that. Yeah. I found the original business cards recently on Facebook. I don't know if you call them business cards really, but I used to make all of this stuff by myself. There was no editing software, no program. I just did it in the Paint. These were some of the original promos. I made this on like a Microsoft Word. I don't know if you can see this image here. I have to reload the page. Yeah, I made them like Microsoft Word. That was my first business card.
Yep.
One of the first ones. We used to have Mike D. So your name's on here, Mike D.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I printed those off for you or helped design that.
And Nick Cariotti, remember Nick? Nick used to be a co-host.
Nick helped. Remember, because we did shows from the bunker.
Oh, his studio. That's right.
Yeah, and then you actually kind of slept in there some days too.
Yeah, I was homeless for a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know if people know that. Maybe you talked about it. Maybe you haven't. I mean, maybe that's the show to do. But those were crazy times, you know. And then you're, living out of the. You had the whatchamacallit, the electric car. You had the
Prius.
Yeah, you had the Prius.
Driving that Prius over there to Whole Foods, try to dig through the organic, non-organic salad and figure out which one was which.
God, I used to hear from my ex, like coming home from the show, like, "Why are you leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning? Where are you going?" I was going to do a radio show. I don't think I subconsciously, I don't think she believed me. I think she thought I was going somewhere else. She gave me these looks when I got home at like 8 a.m.
But you had proof of it, though. You have the recording from the show.
Exactly. But she was super insecure. But it's a whole nother story, I guess.
Yeah, those are the great old days, good old days when those liberals at WPRK used to vandalize my car or threaten to kill me in the morning. Those were good old days, Mike.
Yeah, or you used to try to blame. Remember, they put that like penis up on the door of the guy, and then kind of used your cards to see like you did it. So they're trying to set you up.
That white card I just showed you on screen. It's just for people that are listening only. It's like it's a piece of computer paper. Yeah, someone drew a giant penis on it and then glued it to the manager's door, and then he thought I did it. Like I'm going to use my own card to do that. Like I'm that juvenile anyway. If you listen to my show, am I that juvenile? No.
No, I mean, yeah, they tried to set you up. But I'll tell you that one thing about that station was it was cool, like going underground, like going to the steps to the door.
Yes.
And the studio itself that we had set up. And I remember I used to bring in the lights, the blue, pink lights.
Oh yeah, you did used to bring in that was cool.
Give us some mood setting, even though there was no video. It was just us in there with the lights, but just to give us a mood setting.
I just tried to see if there was anything about. There is one old picture on Google Images. It's a really old picture on Google Images of me. I was trying to find the one of you and I we had taken a long time ago, or just the studio itself. That's like the original 2010 picture with me. That's a real old picture, man.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a really old picture. Some people are still using that. Stop using that picture if you're still using that. Jesus Christ. 15, 16 years ago. Oh my God. See, let's see if we can look at, I'll show the list. They destroyed the studio though. It's gone. Did you know that? They got rid of it?
I didn't. I heard something. What happened to that?
They automated it all. They took away the manual process, I think, and it's all automated.
And that there's no longer a studio there too?
If there is, it's not. The old one's gone. This was the old studio.
Yeah.
Yep, it's gone. They used to have all these CDs that were really cool. You go pull the CD and play it. They digitized all that. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's so cool. It's so efficient. It's so fast. It's so great." And I said, "Well, if you keep doing that, there's not going to be a studio at all. They're going to digitize everything." No. They just got to make the discs easier to access. And then they got done with that. Guess what happened to the studio? Gone. Now they just play automated. Well, the last time I heard, they play automated shows now. It's all digital. It's all automated. They probably play AI stuff for all I know. There are probably still some people that go in there and tweak it. But yeah, this is all gone. Real talk was gone.
It's sad, but it's what happens. It happens with time.
Yep, it's why you can't buy a tea with cash. You gotta you gotta have the boba with it, and you have to put on
so many different characters for the different shows that used to come in, after us too. That one reggae white guy, Hawkeye, I think was named.
Hey guys, it's real great to see you. It's the first time I always wanted to meet you.
Guy would show us like UFO pictures on his phone, and we're like, yeah, we got to go, man. We got to go.
That guy was so high. He met us every week. Our show was on. He was on right before us every week, every single week, and he was so high that every time we would come in, he'd be like, "It's great to meet you guys. I listened to your show before." Like, dude, I met you 5 years ago.
Yeah, he'd say the same shit. The dude was out of his mind.
Yeah, that's Serious.
But it was fun. It was good times. So at least we got to experience them, even though it ended. Actually, it ended way better for you, like I told you it would. Like when we got it out of there, you know, it just kept progressing. So that was a good thing.
You know what I'm like? I'm like a Holocaust survivor because I went through the WPRK termination, and then that studio was literally destroyed. And then I went to Dark Matter, and then they kicked me off, and then that network collapsed. Then I went to L&M, and that network collapsed because of Heather Wade. And then I bounced to the Fringe, which the Fringe is still on. Joe still has the Fringe. He doesn't really do his show much. And then Joe was the only person who let me do what I wanted to do before I went on to Ground Zero. And then that Jewish guy got upset and destroyed the network with that other fraud up in Canada who was stealing money. And then that network collapsed. I've survived like 5 concentration camps, Mike. And I just...
It's trial by fire.
It is. And we just keep moving on. And now we're independent, completely independent. So they're going to have to take the internet down.
Yeah, so it was amazing that a lot of your listeners followed you through those paths.
It's amazing how many people listen. How many people in the chat have listened to this show since WPRK? I know a handful of people. That's wild. I deserve reparations now, says Flux and Patriot Girl. I do deserve reparations. I deserve to be paid by all these networks should have been paying me out for reparations. Absolutely. Joe Ryder says the same thing. Look at that. Should get reparations, Mike. You should too. You were there for one of them.
I know. I mean, I've been doing this show on and off for years. You know, my thing is never about, as you know, money, right? So my thing was just that it was fun. It was topics that I wanted to talk about, and it's topics that I enjoy talking about, and it's topics that I like sharing with people. And money was never a thing with me. It was never like, hey, Ryan, you know, can I get like some money for doing the show this week? Or let me, you know, it was never about that. It was just about doing the show and having fun.
And you know what I would have told you? I don't have any money either.
I can buy you breakfast if I see you again, but again, there is no money.
There's no money in it. There's no money. But if I was a sellout piece of garbage who sold all the fake stories, I could probably make some money that way.
Oh, you could have easily got into the mix of that whole stuff. You know, starting with the dark matter, right? You could easily bend the knee of dark matter and say, yeah, okay, I won't talk about this, but I will talk about David Wilcock. Is that okay? Oh yeah, sure. We'll get him on your show. You know, we'll get you on a conference. You can do some talks with him. Then you get on Jimmy Church some more. You know, you and David Wilcock maybe form some type of like group together. You know, all that shit is probably what they would have tried to do.
You're right. I think that's probably what would have happened if I wouldn't have opened my mouth and said that stuff about the fake UFO Malibu base. I'd have probably been in the door. Keith Rowland said that our show was right next to Jimmy's and Michael's. I think we even had second place most nights in terms of listenership. And that was with Jimmy had a network. We had no network. I was literally doing this show on my kitchen table in a fucking trailer in Polk County.
Oh my God! Yeah, I did a show with you where I drove all the way there and did a show with you there once, and I was like, Jesus! It took me 2 hours to get to you.
Yeah, it was a dump, and my numbers in that trailer that dump was literally better than what all the other, including that Barnes guy from the History Channel. Our numbers were better than him. I was doing this off of like a Q10 microphone that cost $20 at the Guitar Center.
Yeah, we had Kevin Sullivan, I think his name is, guy that was writing all the Masonic books. Sullivan was his name, the author.
Yeah, I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
Yes, we did an interview with him on his book that we bought, and then we also gave him the hint. I was like, you should do a book on like the occult symbolism in movies that we see, like Eyes Wide Shut. And he's like, that's a good idea. And I think he ended up doing it. I think he ended up doing a book like that.
Gnarly Sheen says, I'm very familiar with Polk County. If you're from Florida or you live in Florida, you've been to Florida, everybody knows Polk County. Polk County is it's a special place. It's a special place. You know Polk County, Mike.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Try to avoid it.
There's a lot of crystal. I think they call it the crystal meth capital of the world, don't they? Or at least of the U.S.
Yeah.
Hey, Polk County's great though because you got that sheriff down there. Why'd you shoot the guy 47 times? Because we only had 47 bullets. Next question.
Yeah, Sheriff Grady, I think his name.
Yes, Grady, I think is the guy's name. That's right. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. I appreciate. It's nice to kind of reminisce with you, Mike. We never get to do the anniversary shows, which are in March. So this is nice to have a little conversation with you about it. I think imagine what we could do with like $1 million budget
God.
and a studio.
How about 50 G's? We could do a
50,000.
about 50,000 just for the year as a budget. You know what we could do? We could bring in millions of listeners. Millions.
Yep. That's why we've always been blacklisted from everything, because we are a threat to the status quo of the UFO, New Age, conspiracy, Illuminati community. That's my theory anyway. I'm trying to be humble about it, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason why people are really offended or very, I don't know, intimidated by the show, because there's no bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we were tired of all the Bigfoot news a couple years ago. It was just Bigfoot. I was like, you know what? Fuck Bigfoot. I want to talk about Dogman, because that's the one that is interesting to me. There's these sightings of this friggin' giant werewolf that these hunters are seeing, and we got what's her name on the show. We did an interview with God, what's her name? She wrote a couple books on. She was the definitive person on the dog.
She passed away. Yeah, that was.
She passed away like 3 years ago, I think.
Linda Godfrey.
Linda Godfrey, yes. And we got her on the show, and we talked about that because we were just tired of all these other shows talking about the same shit. I was like, no, I want to talk about Dogman. And this is before now you have YouTube shows that all they do is talk about Dogman.
Yep.
We talked about Dogman years and years ago as the paranormal aspect of it. And that was a great interview, and it was a great time.
That is, I've noticed that about a lot of shows we've done. I mean, I've been 3 months ahead of the Labubu trend, those little demon dolls. I did a show on that shit back in like May. Now it's trending all over social media. We're way ahead of the curve here. But hey, I miss a lot of things, and listeners fill me in on a lot of things, and it's nice to be able to just be real and not have to play a part, not have to grease my hair back, get a bacon coffee, and bang an 18-year-old girl named Gomez or whatever that girl's name was that made his wife leave him. Jimmy Church, you scumbag, fraud, piece of garbage, cheating, lying, backstabbing.
Yeah, he is a piece of trash. But yeah, imagine imagine 50 G's without the greasy handshake. Like, here, there's no strings attached. I like what you guys are doing. I'm not a radio person, but here's 50 G's as your advertising marketing budget. Of course, I want it itemized and to see how you're using that money, which certainly would be happy to do. Yeah. And that would be, but again, it's not about the money, right? The money would make it easier, but we've been through so much. How can things get harder? How can things get harder?
Yeah, I don't need money.
No, I mean, you're in Japan. It's much better than Tucson.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about my microphone or computer getting stolen every time I leave the house. That's nice.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, even without the money, things worked out. So.
Yep, all I need is a microphone. You know, I didn't even have a microphone boom arm until relatively recently. Can you believe that?
That's great. It's crazy. Even these YouTube teenagers have those.
Yeah, I just got this damn mixing board when Joe Roop showed it to me back in 2019. I didn't even have a good. My mixing boards were so trashy and remember all those sound. We would have issues. I'd have to like rewire every time we do a show. You'd hear like a hissing sound or something.
Yes.
I just figured that out. 2016. I got my first really good microphone arm 2 years ago. This is some I don't know, white trash radio or something. All county white trash.
You're like a Capricorn. You're climbing slowly up the mountain.
Except I'm an Aquarius.
It's okay because I'm the Capricorn.
I can see that Mike's a Capricorn. I'm an Aquarius. I can see that makes sense. I think that those two go together pretty well. I got to imagine that most of our listeners in the chat, the vocal ones, are probably more like you, probably more Capricorn or Aquarius. Ryan, with reparations, you can have more than enough money. Yeah. I don't need the money though. I think it's better to just not have the money. As long as I got enough to pay the bills, that's fine. That's all that matters. And also if the mic dies or something, buy a new mic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it. That's all I need. Don't need a giant multi-million-dollar Malibu house like David Wilcock and Jimmy Church have.
No, all these frauds are, it's all coming back to them, as you can see. That's why the update show would be great. Like, we do the Stephen Greer bit, and then we talk about some of these frauds and what's going on with them, where they're at, dig deep enough, there's going to be stuff like the listener said about him being a pervert also.
Yeah. Yep. Patriot Girl says she's a Libra. Joe says cancer. Oh, yeah, Cancer. Flux says Cancer. Well, David Wilcock's a Cancer too. What a coincidence. All you need is love. All right, yeah, let's do let's do that review show. I'll talk to you for another hour, Mike, but I'm sure that you got to go. And I'm actually going. I don't know if Joe Roop is still here, but Joe Roop and I were planning on doing a live stream, like right now after the show's over. A live stream of we're going to play some Fallout 76 together. I've never streamed a game, so he's going to stream it. We're going to play the game together. So if anybody is a gamer fan, you can go to Lighting the Void on YouTube, and I think you can watch it over there on YouTube. So we're going to do some Fallout, I guess.
Nice.
I guess. Are we still going to do that, Joe? If Joe's in the chat, he's probably playing now. I told him an hour ago I'd be on the game with him, but anyway, you can watch us play games if I guess that's interesting for people.
Yeah, people make millions of dollars people watching people play games.
Yes. Blair, thank you for Blair says they're going to subscribe. I wish I could give you a I Punch Jimmy Church discount, but I don't have the ability to do that.
Let's we won't make it as long as 3 weeks, but maybe in the next 2 weeks I'll be able to do the show and come back with the information of how we'll talk about how we want to lay it all together. But yeah, I think that the themes that we have will be a good show and people will enjoy it. We can bring things up on the screen. And I think also in the future I can also share my screen of things I want to show too.
Totally. Do you want to do video, or you want to stay off the video? I totally understand if you.
No, I want to stay off the video, but I can use like an avatar. But I want to share. I want to be able to share my screen also in the future, so we can walk all that out. It's easy. It's easy to do.
I could probably. Yeah, I think I can even add all that stuff. I just never. That's the thing. I don't care. I don't need the money. I don't need a fancy setting. What matters is the information. That's what matters. What does it matter if I have a gold microphone and Mike has a fancy avatar? If I'm sitting here telling you that it's okay to eat McDonald's because it's fried in beef tallow, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, my avatar right now is I'm in the multiverse, so you can see it kind of moving around the black. I'm in the void. The blackness.
He's in the void. Yeah, he's in the void. You hear that, Joe? Joe Roop? Mike D's also walking in the void. Polk County is just weird, says Gnarly Sheen. Yeah, Polk County is a dump. A lot of crystal meth. Everyone looks like Kid Rock in Polk County. That is partly true, but the people I knew there looked like Kid Rock. 5 other Kid Rocks. They were massive people. Everybody shopped at that's where people shop in Polk County, Mike, is they shop at Dollar General for their food.
Yeah, not $1. Nothing in there is $1 anymore.
Nothing's even $1. Lunchables are $3. $3 for a Lunchable. That's insane.
Yeah, that's why people were getting pissed at these Dollar General and what's the other one? There's another one, but people were getting angry because they're raising their prices all in there too. There's nothing that's $1.
What did the disgusting cesspit? All the food companies and all the stores that sell that kind of stuff in the United States, and we have the audacity we blame anything and everything except the food. It's atrocious.
Oh, I bet you Iranians are eating healthier than us for sure.
You better hey, my friend from Saudi Arabia, Ashrar, if I pronounce her name right, I haven't said it for a while, Ashrar, she came to the United States And I don't want to tell too much of her personal story, but she came to the U.S., she gained weight, went back to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, lost weight, then came back, gained weight again, eating normal stuff. And I remember I went to her house for dinner with her and some of her friends. She had friends over from Iraq and some other countries. I did Ramadan with them, actually. I fasted each day, and then I had dinner with them at least once or twice. And I went over to her house in Boise, and she's got like tahini and mustard and stuff in the fridge. And she said, it's different than the tahini I normally buy, but if you want to use some, you can use some. I don't know if you'd eat it. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, this is definitely different than the tahini you buy, because the tahini you buy normally in Saudi Arabia is probably just seeds, right? Maybe salt, oil, lemon. It had like sesame flavor in it. I said, Asra, these aren't even sesame seeds. Just naturally eating the same thing she ate over there, she gained weight in the United States. Same thing.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to diss the guy yet because it's kind of early, but RFK has a lot of work to do, right? So he's got a lot of work to do to make America, quote unquote, healthy again.
I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if it's possible. He's also backing mRNA vaccines. They cut 22 programs, but he's allowing the other ones to go forward, including the Stargate mRNA COVID vaccine, cancer vaccine, and they're pushing universal COVID and flu vaccines. Have you heard that or seen that?
No.
Oh my God, Mike! If you haven't heard or seen this, please let me do this, and then I'll hang up the call here, and we'll get off the air because this is just going to go on forever. HHS universal COVID flu vaccines. Let me give you a short crash course here. ABC News, mRNA funding RFK Jr. And then I have it on my X page here. I'll scroll down and get the actual clip of him saying it, so you don't just see the press release. Give me one moment, and I will find this. It's somewhere on the front page here. So anyway, the point is RFK Jr. is saying that we're going to have universal COVID flu vaccines. Here it is. I found it. Let me put this on screen. Okay, listen to this.
And so
Here we go. Hold on.
the vaccine.
Oh, scroll back. Go back. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
Why is it doing this? Must be the damn cabal.
They put a bullet in my kitchen on my counter.
All right, here we go.
Now we're developing a universal vaccine at NIH, which is a vaccine that addresses the entire phylum of viruses. And so it's a vaccine that mimics natural immunity.
That's great.
And it
lovely.
And it is effective against any kind of mutation. So it doesn't drive the virus to mutate. And it could be effective. We believe it's going to be effective against not only coronaviruses, but also flu.
There it is. And then here's the press release from the HHS website where they say the next generation universal vaccine platform. And it is for the development in-house NIH development of universal influenza and coronavirus vaccines, which were the brainchildren of Anthony Fauci. And then here's what all the mega people are celebrating. RFK Jr. cancels at least $500 million in mRNA vaccine funding. That includes 22 investment projects worth $500 million. However, final stage contracts will be allowed to be completed. No new mRNA-based projects will be initiated, which when I first covered this story, Mike, I did the old George Bush, no new taxes. We'll just raise the old taxes. And that's basically what they're doing. No new mRNA vaccines, but we'll proceed with the other ones.
Yeah, whenever they say mimics, that's what you got to be cautious. Mimics.
Mimicry. Projecting.
You don't need your natural immunity. You need this thing that mimics your immunity.
You know what's really fascinating too is that the Stargate project is a $500 billion project for the cancer vaccines and other things. But you know how much the original investment is in it? It's $500 billion is the total, but they've only invested a few $100 million. They've invested the amount of money in it that he just cut from the mRNA budget. So in other words, what he cut is the initial funding for the Stargate project. Meanwhile, they're launching universal COVID and flu vaccines. So once again, you got duped. America. Once again, you got conned, you got deceived and lied to by scumbags and criminals. And I thought you could trust RFK Jr. a little bit better. Apparently not.
There you go.
And there it is.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the best thing that you can do really is just follow the X-Files theme, and that is trust no one.
Oh yeah, I didn't really trust that guy either. I was just waiting for some things to happen, giving him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he'll make some changes that he said in his campaigns. He knows the dangers of all this stuff, but again, either he sold out, he's blackmailed, or they got him on. They bought him out.
He does spend a strange amount of time with Rabbi Shmuley, and he did say that one of the biggest threats to U.S. health is anti-Semitism. Did you see that? He actually said that.
No, but I'm sure he said it.
Yep.
No problem pushing GoSlop.
Nope.
Oh, God.
It's
anyway.
Unbelievable. All right, Mike, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for walking down memory lane with me. WPRK, the best in basement radio, 91.5 FM.
You guys got to give the weather. Make sure you're giving the weather and the traffic report every 15 minutes.
Yeah, people are listening.
You're talking too much. Play more music.
He wanted the traffic report.
This guy wanted a traffic report every 20 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah, let me go to our news chopper at this fucking radio station that doesn't even have this wood paneling is from 1954 when the station was built. Let me go to our
college students listening to that. They live on campus. Do you think they care about a traffic report?
That guy's name was Ron. He was just trying to do anything and everything to get us to not talk. You got to have traffic reports. You got to play 7 songs an hour. You got to do an update on this, an update on that. He just come in the studio. We got an emergency on campus. I have to do this emergency announcement.
Yeah, that guy was a piece of trash.
God, I'm so glad a lot of listeners around the world find this show to be really interesting or intriguing or entertaining. A lot of people hate us. A lot of people really hate us. So thank you for supporting us. And if you haven't left us a review, leave a review, because some people hate us and leave really bad reviews for no reason. So if you really like the show, please leave us a review, subscribe, grab a book, etc. I think we're pretty much done with the show. We went an hour and a half. You went 2 hours over, Mike.
Oh my God, I'm still at my same table, sitting and standing. I gotta go, dude. I gotta sit down on my couch.
All right. Well, you have a good night. And for anybody in the chat, you can watch on, if we get to do it, I'm guessing we can still do it. We get to play Fallout 76 with Joe over on Lighting the Void channel. All right, Mike, thank you so much.
Yes, take care. Thank you, listeners. Have a good night.
All right, bye-bye, Mike.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Joe Ryder in the chat says, I wanted to thank you for giving me that book, Ryan. I appreciate it. I honestly don't remember what book. Whatever book it was, you're welcome, though. Thank you, Patriot Girl, Flux, Corey McDonald, Deborah, Gnarly Sheen. Everybody in the chat room, I appreciate you tuning in. Please subscribe. Please grab a book. Nada, Mistos Dokos. Have a great night. I'll bring up the music here. I know you probably can't hear it much on the live stream, but in the audio version of the show, it sounds good. Cindy, have a great night. Thank you for joining us on the show. tstradio.info, rdgable@yahoo.com. That's tstradio.info, rdgable@yahoo.com. Stay safe, stay informed, stay healthy. I will talk to you on the next broadcast.